Hello and welcome to On the Prowl. I'm your host Joshua Perkins, and with me today is the coach of the Hahnville Tigers, Coach Nick Salformaggio. Thanks for joining us today, Coach.
Thank you, buddy.
On today's installment of On the Prowl, Coach will break down last week's game against the Terrebonne Wildcats, and we'll get Coach to take a look ahead to Hahnville's next game against the Terrebonne Tigers. And we'll take a look at the Press Play Productions game schedule and where you can watch the Press Play Game of the Week. We'd also like to remind you that October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We'd like to ask you to donate today to the American Cancer Society to help find a cure for this disease. So, Coach, a tough loss. What can you take away that is a positive from this game?
Oh, it's hard to find a whole lot of positives offensively. Defensively, I thought we played very, very well. We really did. It was a 3-0 ball game at halftime, and the end of the third quarter, it was a 10-0 game. But we're still making the same mistakes, Joshua. We're missing big kicks when we need to make them. We're struggling to get our offense going a little bit. We didn't have the terrible turnover, but we did have a turnover in the game. So, again, it's a work in progress, and we're just hoping these next 5 games, we can play a little bit better football on the back end and get us in the playoffs.
What do you feel about the atmosphere and the support your students and fans gave your team Friday night?
It was unbelievable. I told my parents were in town, and still I get questions, why would you leave a state championship program and come to Hahnville? And all you had to do was be at the game Friday night and know why. And, Hahnville High School is a great school. Within the building of the school, there's so much spirit. The administration is wonderful, the teachers, the faculty, the support staff, the students. I didn't expect anything less, and it was a wonderful, other than the score, it was a great experience, and it's the reason you come to Hahnville High School.
How would you describe your first Battle on the River rivalry week?
I was impressed with everything. It wasn't unexpected, though. I mean, since I've been in St. Charles Parish, the school system and the people that run our schools are, they're as good as it gets anywhere. And so, you're going to expect the atmosphere to be wonderful. You're going to expect the support to be off the charts, and it all was. And then, just the competition with Destrehan brings out the best, I hope, in both schools. And it was a good night.
Thanks, Coach. Let's take a look at the first half highlights.
Right off the bat, we're running our option game. We're stumbling a little bit, but we're making some yardage. And, we're downfield. We're getting some good blocks. Austin did a nice job, especially in the passing game. We threw the ball a whole lot more than I'm comfortable with, but it's something that we have to do to move the ball. Defensively, I can't say enough about how our kids played. They played great the entire night on the defensive side of the ball. And this is something that we work on a lot, our punt return game, and we were able to get Brandon in the crease right up the middle and make some big yardage out of it. And he was a hand tackle away from maybe breaking that thing.
A few good blocks too.
Yeah. Again, Destrehan has so many good skill position players and an experienced offensive line. The way we played defense throughout the game, I thought was very impressive.
A good stop.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of got caught up watching it a little bit. This was a big play that we were worried about. Anytime Matthews got the ball on the edge, we were concerned. He made a nice run, and we were able to get a hand in there and strip it out. And Jamonte Williams was able to recover a fumble. He also had an interception in the game, so he had a very good night for us. And Austin, again, making some plays with his feet, picking up a first down. If he was a little bit faster, man, he'd really, really cause people some problems. But he's done a great job running our offense. And then, again, defensively, just attacking the football, getting after Will and those guys, it meant a lot to our kids to slow down that Destrehan offense, and they played with that kind of intensity. And as Jamonte with his interception. So, I was impressed with the way we played defense. I really was. I thought our kids competed defensively for 48 total minutes. And, at the end of the game, especially after we had missed that field goal, it kind of took some air out of our bubble a little bit, so to speak, and we dropped our heads a little bit. But we were able to regroup, and then other than the long run we gave up to end the game, I thought our kids accounted well of themselves defensively.
Your defense had a strong showing in the first half, and that showed on the scoreline with Randy Harvey's field goal being the only thing that kept the game from being level. How was your defense able to stop Destrehan's high-powered offense?
Well, defense is about passion, Joshua, and we talk about it. Coach Chris Stroud, our defensive coordinator, does a great job planning and implementing game planning, calling a game on Friday night. But the bottom line for us is our defensive kids play with great desire, great passion, and they want to be great. They want to be special. So when you add all those components together, an excellent defensive coordinator implementing a game plan, calling a game plan, and the kids playing it passionately, you're going to play well defensively.
There was plenty of penalties called on your team in the first half. Do you think this was the main reason your offense failed to score?
No, there's no question about it. You know, it's happening on a consistent basis. And, you know, again, when we talk about it, week in and week out, we talk about the same problems. But, you know, hopefully we get better at it. We're addressing it every single week. You know, it's all the process of building a program. There's a lot of things that are happening, especially since we're on a little bit of a two-game skid, that those masks get taken off of people, so to speak. So they expose themselves a little bit, all of us, coaches and players. And, you know, I heard Nick Saban say the other day, who in this locker room is working to make this team better? Well, I think all of us have to do that. All of us have to be accountable and get ourselves on the right track.
You're only down 3-0 to one of the best teams in the state. What did you tell your team at halftime to keep their heads in the game?
That's exactly what I told them. I told them we're down 3-0 to one of the best teams in the state. You know, if we can go out and implement some offense and execute it correctly and not have the turnover and not have the big penalties, we're going to have a chance to win this thing at the end. And we've been in every ball game. I mean, that's kind of been where we've been the entire year. And another thing I told them was, this isn't any different than the other 4 games we've played. We're prepared to play teams like this.
Thanks, Coach. Let's take a look at the highlights from the second half.
You know, we came out, you know, Destrehan popped us early in the second half on a 2-play drive. And, you know, I think we were a little lazy coming out, but our offense got going a little bit and actually mounted an 11-play drive. You know, we have to learn how to finish it. We have to learn how to finish it correctly. But we missed a field goal. And like I said, missing that field goal really took a lot of steam out of us. And, you know, here we do a good job executing a triple option. And Devontae Craven picks up a nice game on a pitch from Austin. You know, and then again, our sprint out pass game, we get a ball thrown Singleton, you know, which, you know, we're moving down the field. We actually get into Destrehan's red zone here, and we just didn't finish it. We missed the field goal to finish the drive, you know, and then we get a bunch of big penalties that put us behind the sticks. And Austin actually takes off and does a great job and almost picks up the first down. If he'd been a little bit faster, he probably could have tucked it up in there and gotten the first down, you know. But we continued to play hard defensively. Dwayne had a great game for us, comes in, makes a tackle for a loss there. You know, and then we get a little bit of a late drive coming down. Devontae, we're beat up, Joshua, right now. Fred's not going to be able to play this week against Terrebonne. Fred Brown, our big defensive tackle, and Craven is really beat up a little bit, you know. So, you know, we're going to have to try to overcome a little bit more adversity than just the 2-game losing streak. So, but I feel like we're finding our niche a little bit more, and you know, we're doing things that I think we're going to be capable of doing as the season goes. And then we're able to get a touchdown pass down the field of Brandon and, you know, make it a respectable game at the end.
On Destrehan's first drive, Kirk Merritt was able to bust out a 55-yard run for a touchdown early. How did your team react to the play and keep their confidence up being down by 2 scores?
Yeah, it's funny. When you break a long run like that, it's really easier to correct than a team just having a ball and driving it down the field on us. And the entire night, we didn't give up any long drives. I mean, so... you know, Merritt's an excellent football player, obviously, and you can't miss a tackle, and that's what it came down to, is we just missed tackles on him. And, you know, it's things, again, you correct them, you work on tackling every single day. I coach the secondary, and so, you know, when you miss a tackle on the back end like that, I take it personally, but so do our defensive backs, and they're a good group of guys, and we got back to work yesterday. You know, first thing we did was get out and tackle. So it wasn't anything that you don't expect when you miss a tackle against a great player.
Austin Perrin completed 69% of his passes for 145 yards and 1 touchdown. How assuring is it to see your backup playing well against one of the best defenses in the state?
Oh, it's great. It really is. And you know, again, he's a great competitor. There's things that he does very well. There's things that Mike Neal does very well. And you know, to have that and to know you're going to have him for a couple more years, it makes you sleep a little easier at night. So, Again, I've said all along, this 2-game losing skid that we're in, that doesn't have anything to do with Austin. Austin has played very, very well for us, and he competed at a very high level for us on Friday night.
Destrehan came into the game averaging 40 points on offense, but your defense was able to hold them to 24. What does that say about the strength of your defense?
Well, again, it's a credit to the guys that coach them. It's a credit to the way our defensive kids play. And, those kids are establishing an identity, which I really appreciate because I'm a defensive guy. I hang my hat on having good defensive football teams. And so to see those guys buying into what we're doing and taking ownership in the fact that they want to be accountable for their actions, makes me smile a whole lot more. And if we can continue to get better defensively, I think good things will lie ahead for us in the second half of the season.
Thanks, Coach. Coming up, Coach Salt will talk about this week's game against the Terrebonne Tigers, and we'll take a look at how the Battle on the River experience was created. We'll be right back.
The Press to Play team is a student-run, student-led production crew from the Advanced TV Broadcasting class of the Satellite Center. Each week, the Press to Play team will broadcast the game of the week and stream it live on presstoplay.tv. Tune in October 10th to watch the Hahnville Tigers take on the Terrebonne Tigers. On Tuesday, October 14th, tune in to see the Hahnville Tigers and Destrehan Wildcats volleyball game. They will be broadcasted on Cox Channel 8 in St. Charles Parish and will be broadcasted on our Vimeo channel and presstoplay.tv.
Welcome back to On the Prowl. I'm your host, Joshua Perkins, with the head coach of the Hahnville Tigers, Coach Nick Saltformaggio. Before we talk about Hahnville's next opponent, we'll see how the Battle on the River got a unique graphics package thanks to the Satellite Center media team.
Hell, just even that you can do animation and Photoshop.
The digital media class is up for a big challenge in the past weeks, creating a new graphics package for the Battle on the River.
Started in about September, and it took us about a month to get it done.
The package included graphics for the web, graphics for television, and a brand new poster.
Well, we made the poster, the season comparison between Hahnville and Destrehan, just their stats overall, a banner for the Twitter page, and for the website, it was a header.
This was the first big project for Mr. Grau's digital media team, and they were more than pleased with their results.
We got along really well. It was new to me, working my designs and collaborating with other team members. It was new, but it was good. It wasn't that difficult. I mean, I liked it.
Reporting from On the Prowl, I'm Joey Robichaux.
So, Coach, Terrebonne has not won a game they scored less than 44 points this year. How are you planning to keep them under that mark?
Well, we've been playing really good defense. They have some special talent. Those guys have kids that can run a little bit. It seems like everybody in our district, no matter what their record is, they have football players that you have to be able to defend. So, again, playing Terrebonne, we're mirror images of each other right now. Both teams have gone through some tough battles. Both of us are beat up. Both of us are playing with our backup quarterbacks. And both of us are kind of probably telling their football teams the same thing. This is a game that's kind of going to get you back to 500, get you ready to play a better second half of the season. So, hopefully on Friday night it's our homecoming. Our fans still are behind us and get out there and give us a big crowd and give us maybe the push we're going to need to win another hard-fought game. But you're right, it's going to come down to us slowing them down.
Even with the backup quarterback, Terrebonne might have one of the best passing games in District 7 5A. How does it help having players like Jamonte Williams and Chris Marshall in the secondary to help stop Terrebonne's passing game?
No, it's great. Unfortunately, I don't have Jamonte this week. He got hurt in the Destrehan game. But, those guys, all four guys on the back end, Eric Gilmore does a great job for us, and Justin Young, who's our starting free safety now, has stepped in and taken on a more dynamic role in our offense. And, hopefully we can get Monte back. If not, we're probably going to be starting a freshman back there in Anthony Williams. So, again, it's a good problem to have because all four of those guys are underclassmen. They're all juniors or three juniors and a freshman if Anthony has to go. but they've played some pretty good passing teams before. You know, Destrehan's a tremendously talented offensive football team that can throw the ball down the field. Obviously, old Perry Walker. So we feel we're okay.
Both teams are coming into the game 0-2 in district and 2-3 on the season. How big would a win be for your Hahnville Tigers Friday night?
No, it's a win. You know, right now we haven't had one in a couple of. It seems like it's been a year, but it's only been 2 weeks. So you know, it would be a big win. It would give us an opportunity, like I said, to get back to 3-3, get at 500, and now you're playing the last 4 games. You know, to have a winning record. You got to get the 6 wins to guarantee yourself a win. So you know, we're trying to find a way to get forward.
What do you think your team needs to do to come out with a victory Friday night?
We just have to continue to believe in the process, believe in what we're doing as far as the football program is concerned, and just play hard. You know, if we can play hard and quit making foolish penalties, we'll be okay.
Thanks for being here this week, Coach.
Thank you, buddy.
And that'll do it for this edition of On the Prowl. For updates and news on the Press Play Productions team, remember to take a look at our website at presstheplay.tv. I'm your host, Joshua Perkins. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to On the Prowl. I'm your host, Raymond Paul. With me today, I have the coach of the Destrehan Wildcats, Coach Stephen Robichaud.
Hey Raymond, how are you?
How you doing, Coach?
Good.
Coming up, Coach Robichaud will break down last week's matchup with the Hahnville Tigers, and we'll take a look ahead at Destrehan's next game against the Terrebonne Tigers. We will also take an inside look at how Satellite Center crew covered the Battle on the River game. Coach, very big game last Friday. How did you focus your players on the game itself and not the rivalry?
Well, that's really tough. You know, there's so much going on this week with the rivalry, with the, you know, it's not just the players, it's the community that's involved, and it's just a tough week. But you know, we told our kids the most important thing this week is the game. I thought our kids were focused. I thought they had a great week of practice, and ended up working out quite well for us.
How do you feel your defense handled Hahnville's new triple option offense?
I thought we played real well. You know, obviously when you hold them to 3 points, I mean when you hold them without scoring in the first half, that's pretty good. You know, and they scored late in the fourth quarter. So I thought our defense, our coach Lance Leday had a great game plan. I thought our kids executed. We knew they were going to move the football. They have a good team, and I think Austin Perrin's a good quarterback. You know, I think Preston's a good running back. They have some weapons that can hurt you. I thought they moved the ball at times, but when our defense needed to make a big play, they did. And for us to only give up 6 points that night was big for our defense.
This is the first game this season that your team was held without a touchdown in the first half. Were you concerned with Hahnville's defense shutting down your high-powered offense?
We knew going into the game that they were pretty good on defense. They've shown that all year. We kind of thought that it was the first big game for our quarterback, you know, as far as a big Destrehan-Hahnville rivalry. We made some mistakes early, obviously, that hurt us, but overall we knew we were going to be in a dogfight, and you know, hats off to Hahnville. They have a good football team, and you know, we were just lucky to get it figured out in the second half and end up winning the football game.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights.
Here's our defense coming up. Peyton Staub with a big hit. Big loss right there. Getting good pressure right here by Ed Leonard. Ends up getting the, causing a fumble, getting the ball back for us. Marquise Darnsburg does a good job getting away from the tacklers. for a positive gain. Alex Zaid with a big hit. He had almost 10 tackles Friday night for the Wildcats. He played big for us. Alan Pittman disrupting the play in the backfield and allowing the pursuit to get to him. Will Matthews doing what he's been doing all year, doing a good job running the ball. The only thing, he just didn't protect it all the way to the end. Hahnville makes a big play, gets one of the nicest catches I've seen in a long time. John Williams with a one-handed catch right there with his left hand at that. So he did a tremendous job by him with a big play for us. Offensive line doing a great job right here, providing a big hole for Will to run through. Well, John Williams been doing this all year for us, making a big play for us on special teams, giving our offensive ball in good field position. Randy Harvey comes in with a big kick, 25-yard field goal to put us in the head, 3-0. Keeps pulling it down. It's a good run.
Do you think the fumble in the red zone took away some of Destrehan's momentum in the first half?
There's no doubt. Big factor in football games is the turnover ratio, and for us to get a fumble right there, it hurt us big time. So, whenever you put together a good deal, a good drive, and get down in someone's red zone, you got to be able to finish, and we didn't at that time, and I think that hurt us for sure.
Okay. Let's take a look at the second half highlights.
Here we go. We get the ball in Kurt Merritt's hand, and Kurt's such a special player. He just makes an unbelievable run. Does a good job coming out there. You see good blocking downfield by Tremaine Armstrong. Allows Kurt to go the distance, 53 yards for a touchdown. Kind of sets the tone for the second half. Defense still playing well. Big play right here by Alan Pittman. Good job stopping Perrin. And Will Matthews, Will's our workhorse. He had over 130 yards on 23 carries. So he's just real steady for us. Just doing a good job running the ball hard inside. Marquise does a big play for us right here on 4th down. We fake it to Merritt, and we get the defensive end to bite, and Marquise does a good job running. Here we go with just a counter play by Matthews, does a great job. Defense played tough all night. Peyton Staub doing a great job in the middle right here. Stopping the big fullback. We knew that the fullbacks were big and strong. We just had to make a play. Raekwon Morgan with a big hit. And Corian Reynaud with a big hit there also. So guys doing a good job. And here's a play that kind of set just an unbelievable play by Kurt Merritt. He's a special player and does a good job. He's pretty fast too. Look at our offensive lineman right there leading the way. That shows a lot of hustle. He didn't block anybody, but for him to be in the end zone at the same time, that means that they're hustling. So it was a big play by him. They get a touchdown, go for 2 points, and we stop them here.
Destrehan played phenomenal in the second half. How do you feel your team took your advice not only in this game, but in previous games to always finish strong with the win?
Well, the second halves are real important. We talk about all the time the first 3 minutes in the second half is the most important time in a football game. It's kind of a way to go ahead. You go in from halftime and you evaluate what you did in the first half, see what you think is going to work in the second. And our offense coordinator did a good job, found some things that he thought would work in the second half, and it ended up working for us. Defensively, we were playing well in the first half, so we just had to continue doing that, and I thought our kids do that. So we're excited. Our kids were motivated. We knew that we were moving the ball. We knew we were in a dogfight. We told them that they had to play for 4 quarters, and we did that. So I was excited about coming out with a big win.
The Great American Rivalry Series named Kurt Merritt the player of the game. Why do you feel he was chosen for this award? Well,
he just had 2 unbelievable runs. He just said he had 170 yards on 5 carries. That's incredible stats. So, he was the guy that came and kind of broke the game open. Will did a tremendous job running, like I like to call it blue-collar type running with 130 yards, but Kurt ended up with 170-something yards on 5 carries. That was just a phenomenal effort by him. And, it doesn't surprise me. He's a great kid, works extremely hard. He's a great compliment to Will. as far as them both running the football. So it doesn't surprise me, but you know, we're just real happy that that we were able to come out and move the ball in the second half and get the win.
Thanks, Coach. We'll take a look ahead to next week's game against the Terrebonne Tigers, and we'll take a look at behind the scenes of the Battle on the River game. We'll be right back.
The Press to Play team is a student-run, student-led production crew from the advanced TV broadcasting class of the Satellite Center. Each week, the Press to Play team will broadcast the game of the week and stream it live on presstoplay.tv. Tune in October 10th to watch the Hahnville Tigers take on the Terrebonne Tigers. On Tuesday, October 14th, tune in to see the Hahnville Tigers and Terrebonne Wildcats volleyball game. They will be broadcasted on Cox Channel 8 in St. Charles Parish and will be broadcasted on our Vimeo channel and presstoplay.tv.
Before we take a look ahead at this week's game against Thibodaux, we'll see how the Satellite Center Digital Media and Interactive Media Courts handled the pressure for this year's Battle on the River game.
The interactive media class was up for a big challenge in the past few weeks, creating a new website for Battle on the River.
You know, this was only our second website that we made. You know, we had the manual website that we made previously, but with this new one, we're still working with WordPress.
The website included a countdown to coverage, a matchup of both teams, and live photos from the event.
You know, probably the biggest problem that we faced were finding all the different components. We had so many good ideas. We wanted to have a big timer, a big countdown to kickoff at the front of the webpage, and we wanted to, you know, import news stories from other sources and have all this great media and throw it all into the website, and we had not done that before. So it took us, you know, probably the majority of the time we spent working on the website was finding, you know, the tools that would allow us to embed all this content, you know, and show it to the end user.
This was the first big project for Mr. Goff's interactive media team, and they were more than pleased with their results.
The graphics were really good because we were able to work very well with digital media. And when we worked with digital media, it was really like we had a feeling of we were working with them, but we weren't like hassling them, as well as they were right there the whole time, so we could go to them whenever we needed them. And it really all came together at the end to make a site that both functioned properly and it looked great.
Reporting from On the Prowl, I'm Emily Rigby.
You have a tough opponent this week, Coach. The Thibodaux Tigers. They're 5-0 in second in district. How are you going to take down their rushing game?
Well, you know, obviously that's what they try to do. They're going to try to run the football. Their quarterback does a great job running the football. They got a good running back, and they want to do it. They have a big offensive line. They got to run the football. We always go into games with two big keys. Number one, run the football. Number two, stop the run. And I think that's key every week. And there's no doubt that it's real important this week. They've done a good job. They've played 5. They won 5. They're a good football team. We have to go down there. It's the first time we travel. So it's going to be a real tough gig for us to be able to do that. So I tell you, we're trying to get our kids focused and you know that they're going to be in a battle Friday night.
Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you, Ray. Appreciate it.
And that will do it for this edition of On the Prowl. Next week, we'll take down the Terrebonne game against the Thibodaux Tigers. I'm your host, Raymond Paul. Thanks for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please give the 2014 Hahnville High School Homecoming Court a round of applause. At this time, we would also like to welcome back our 2013 Homecoming Queen, Miss Brenna Diaz. Ms. Diaz will also be representing Hahnville High School on the Louisiana State University Homecoming Court. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for. Our first maid, Ms. Holly Commodell. And now our maid of honor, Miss Ashanti Mott. And now, it is our privilege to announce the 2014 Homecoming Queen for Hahnville High School is Miss Sarah Ackerman. Congratulations to Ms. Sarah Ackerman, Homecoming Queen for 2014, and her court. Let's give her a round of applause.
How's your project coming?
Trying to wrap them all up.
They're going to kill us. Work did with the project.
I thought I'd be finished moving dirt at about 8,000 yards of dirt to move. And it rained so much this year, and I just didn't push it.
We were wet and running there.
So I fell short probably about 150 working hours. That'll take me to next week. But other than that,
you know the trip I went on that I saw y'all? Him too. I ended up having to take an emergency flight back in on Wednesday. The kidney's kind of no doctor.
It's clear
No. First time I ever had it. I didn't know.
I get those things so bad.
Yeah. I couldn't stand, I couldn't see, I couldn't do anything. I mean, legs were pain, and I tried to go to a doctor. I ended up at a witch doctor. I went to somebody's house. And I was in so much pain, they gave me a couple of shots. Just enough to make it to when I was at an emergency flight. It's because they told me you need to go to Nassau, fly to Nassau. I said, well, I'm going to fly to Nassau. I'm flying home.
Oh, yeah.
So,
We've left with him in pain a few times, and the guy we traveled with, he has more behind. Yeah, we've been out of the country a couple of times. Like,
this is my first time ever.
One Sunday morning, I didn't know what it was. Man, I went to the emergency room, the nurse reported, and he said, you know, she could see all that. I said, I know what you got. He told me, Super Bowl Sunday, we come over here a couple of years later. They hit me over here, I go back, I said, take it, let's go across halftime. They had one bad left in the emergency room. And I took it. Look, well, they've had to go in and do surgery.
Taking money?
So before the Stones hit, it was a good trip.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. I think we got there Saturday, had Sunday, Monday, we hit the Monday during the night. Tuesday morning I couldn't move. Wednesday morning I was on a flight.
So you didn't get a chance to stay there?
Well, we've been there a few times, quite a few times. And my wife is wanting to take her back now since I ruined it for her.
it's you.
Look, after swimming the feet like back 1,000.
That's enough.
I did it.
All right.
I did it in 4.5 hours. I don't know if that was good time.
All I did was go across the lake and back. I won't do that no more since they got sharks in the lake.
One time back and forth.
Good seeing you again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hahnville High School Fighting Tiger Stadium. Welcome to Hahnville High School Homecoming 2014. Your game tonight will be played between the Terrebonne Tigers and your Hahnville High School Fighting Tigers. First, your lineup. First for Terrebonne, offense. Offensive line, number 70, Martin Chasson. Line, number 65, Eric Rodriguez. Offensive line, number 60, Chase Duplantis. Offensive line, number 56, Cullen Azell. Offensive line, number 61, Nick Johnson. Wide receivers, number 89, Casey Captain. Wide receivers, number 24, Anthony Wall. Wide receiver, number 8, Isaiah Manuel. Running back, number 6, Blake Barrett. Running back, number 23, Joseph Alvis. And quarterback for Terrebonne, number 4, Justin Terrio. And now the defense for Terrebonne. The defensive line, number 94, Deontay Walters. Defensive line, number 51, Bryce Terrio. Defensive line, number 10, Cam Clement. Linebacker, number 5, Charles Clark. Linebacker, number 22, Cade Terrio. Linebacker, number 56, Cullen Azell. Linebacker, number 18, Nakuzi Smith. Linebacker, number 55, Chris Wesley. The defensive back, number 2, Terrebonne Tigers. The defensive back, number 11, Jeff DeRoche. Defensive back, number 26, Jalen Williams. Kicking for Terrebonne, number 19, Travis Manning. And now your start lineup for the Hahnville Fighting Tigers. First, on defense. Defensive line, number 96, Jacob Blocky. Defensive line, number 52, Devon Honor. Defensive line, number 50, Josh Commerdale. The defensive line, number 15, Dwayne Thomas. Linebacker, number 8, Peyton Robert. Linebacker, number 36, Chris Marshall. Linebacker, number 90, Stephen Cloud. Defensive back, number 41, Drew Favre. Defensive back, number 21, Eric Gilmore. Defensive back, number 23, Justin Young. And their defensive back, number 11, Jai Knight. And now the offense for Hahnville. Offensive line, number 55, Carmichael Crichton. Offensive line, number 60, Landon Kindler. Offensive line, number 66, Drew Melanson. Offensive line, number 76, Drew Jones. Offensive line, number 79, Adrian Young. Split back, number 1, Ricky Preston. Wide receiver, number 18, Waylon LeBlanc. Wide receiver, number 19, Brandon Singleton. Split back, number 30, Devontae Craven. Fullback, number 3, Bradley Oakland. And at quarterback for Hahnville, number 4, Austin Perrin. Kicking for Hahnville, number 12, Matthew Boyer. And your punter, number 4, Austin Perrin. Hahnville fans, the Tigers are ready. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, as a reflection circle made up of a fellowship of Christian athletes forms at the center of the field, we'll ask you all to please rise as we now welcome FCA member Tony Corley III to lead us in a moment of prayer and reflection prior to tonight's game.
Dear God, thank you for allowing us to gather here tonight and enjoy a wonderful game of football. I ask that you keep all of the players, coaches, and fans safe throughout the night. I ask that you allow us to play a fair game with good sportsmanlike conduct after each and every play. I pray that everyone has safe travels when they return home. Amen.
Amen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the presentation of the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, your color guard for the night is presented by Hahnville High Junior ROTC LA 933. The commander for the night's color guard is Cadet Major Rene Savarese. The state flag is held by Cadet Major Ben Bergeron. The American Guard is Cadet Captain D'Angelo Rivera. The State Guard is Cadet Staff Sergeant Stephen Chen. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, the national anthem will be performed by Hahnville Senior Earl Poole. Earl is a member of the Hahnville High School Choir, District Honor Choir, and was selected to the 2014 Homecoming Court.
It's not a lot.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
Ladies and gentlemen, senior Earl Poole. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Welcome to Hahnville High School for tonight's athletic contest between the visiting Terrebonne Tigers and your Hahnville Fighting Tigers. Hahnville High School is a proud member of the Louisiana High School Athletic Association. We remind all spectators that although the game is competitive, it is also an educational experience for all players and students. It is the expectation of the Hahnville High School Athletic Department that all fans show respect and sportsmanship throughout this contest and refrain from negative cheers, chants, or behavior. We welcome our guests from Terrebonne and wish all players good luck in tonight's game. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. 5.30 tobacco and controlled substance policy. Please be aware that the school board policy is required by state law regarding tobacco and controlled substances has been revised. Possessing any lighted tobacco products is prohibited on all school system property and on all school system-owned buses and vehicles. This applies even when students are not on campus and includes parking lots and any other outside portions of school property in addition to all buildings. Violators are subject to citation, summonses, and/or removal from the premises. Thank you for cooperating and adhering to this revised policy. Ladies and gentlemen, St. Charles Parish Public Schools. Ladies and gentlemen, your captains for tonight's game. First for Terrebonne. Number 1, Jordan Quigg. Number 4, Justin Terrio. Number 5, Charles Clark. And number 10, Cam Claymore. And for Hahnville, your captains. Number 3, Bradley Oakwam. Number 19, Brandon Singleton. Number 79, Adrian Young. And number 92, Frederick Brown. Hahnville wins the toss. They defer to the second half. Terrebonne will receive to start the game. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Your officials for tonight's game from the Greater New Orleans Football Officials Association. Referee Mark Gervais. Umpire Scott Bodette. Linesman Tyrone Dudley. Line judge Rich Clement. Back judge Walter Eckert. Side judge Carlos Jackson. Field judge Chris Futak. Game clock Britton Landrum. And your play clock Michael Pretty.
Hello and welcome to Press Play Productions Game of the Week. We're in Hahnville here as the Hahnville Tigers will be hosting the Terrebonne Tigers. I'm John Benton. Alongside me is Joshua Perkins.
Ready to be here, John.
Hahnville enters this game on a 2-game losing streak. They lost their first 2 games in the district season to the Thibodaux Tigers 19-16 at home and to the Destrehan Tigers 24-6 on the road. Destrehan Wildcats.
And Terrebonne is also on a 2-game losing streak. They're 0-2 in district play, and they have the same record as the Hahnville Tigers, 2-3.
Yes, they also own a loss to Destrehan. They lost 42-17, as well as they lost last week at home to the South Lafourche Tarpons, 29-14.
And South Lafourche has had an off year this year.
Yeah, they lost a lot of talent, so Terrebonne has not exactly looked strong. But
and kicking off for the Tigers tonight will be Kobe Ogeron. And the refs are doing a little delay. And they reset the clock to 12 minutes as the clock was still running down from the pregame festivities. And it looks like they don't have it figured out as the clock's running right now. From 12. They're on. And we're getting ready for kickoff. This is Terrebonne versus Hahnville. Both teams 2-3, 0-2 in district play. Whatever team can pull off a win tonight, it'll be a big win for their season.
absolutely, it'll be their first win in district. That's a big elephant to get off their back. If you missed it, it's homecoming night here at Hahnville. The homecoming queen was just named, Sarah Ackerman.
And the homecoming king, our own ATVB's own James Colley.
Absolutely.
And looks like we're getting ready for kickoff. Kobe Ogeron will be the kicker. The refs are still conversing at midfield. If you watched our production last week, Hahnville and Destrehan, on the away side, they had a whole bunch of Hahnville Tiger fans, but tonight the fans from Terrebonne didn't make the trek, it looks like.
They're not very densely packed, I'll say that.
We hope they're loud, though. I love seeing good away fans. And looks like we are ready for kickoff. The refs are finding their positions. Terrebonne will receive. Hahnville selected to defer. They will get the ball at the end of the halftime.
Receiving for the Terrebonne Tigers is going to be number 8, Isaiah Manuel, the junior wide receiver.
And kicking, Kobe Ogeron. It's his third game kicking. He, of course, started kicking against Thibodaux. And it's a squib. They try to keep it away from
Isaiah Manuel, who's going to take it. He's getting past the 30, and he's not getting stopped.
He's going to be gone as Eric Gilmore, the last line of defense for Hahnville, and it doesn't look like they're going to get there.
And it's a quick 7-0 lead for Terrebonne.
Pending the extra point. And that's a big kickoff return there. But we've seen it before. Hahnville played West Monroe 3 years ago in the playoffs. Hahnville returned the opening kick and ended up losing that game 49-7.
Absolutely. At this point, it's all about Hahnville keeping their composure.
And it's been the story of Hahnville's year. Special teams. It's been their one dark spot. And it's been a big dark spot. It's cost them a few games.
You could say it directly cost them both the Rummel and the Thibodaux game.
Travis Manor's extra point is good, but there's a flag on the play. That's a false start on Terrebonne.
It's going to push them
move back a little. Hahnville had some penetration. They almost blocked that one. Let's see if they could get to him this time. Hahnville's offense is very potent. It would be big for them only to let Terrebonne have 6 points on that miscue on the kickoff. This will be about a 26-yard extra point.
Snap is good.
Manor's kick is right down the middle.
It's a quick start for the Terrebonnes of Maroon and Gold as Hahnville faces an early 7-0 deficit at home.
Every game I've commentated so far, we've lost.
And very familiar sight, we got another kickoff, but it's going to be Terrebonne kicking off this time. It will be Travis Manor.
And Hahnville hoped for the same result in the backfield. Ricky Preston.
Manor, of course, their kicker, their punter, and their kickoff specialist.
He was the kicker on that extra point. We'll see how this kickoff goes.
Looks like Ricky Preston's out to field it.
And it's an onside kick. They tried that against Destrehan in the first play. And Hahnville falls on it. It'll be Hahnville ball at the 49.
It didn't make it 10 yards anyway. It was a good idea. I don't think Hahnville saw that one coming, but
Terrebonne, that's familiar territory. They did it against Destrehan, and in the first drive, they ran about 3 trick plays against Destrehan. They're a very tricky team to deal with.
Of course, that same week, Hahnville also got an onside kick successful against Thibodaux.
But they weren't able to win that game. Of course, losing to Thibodaux 19-16 in what's been a big game so far this year. And Austin Parent lines up under center. Bradley Oquin is the power back.
Speaking of Thibodaux, they'll be playing the Destrehan Wildcats tonight. Both teams are undefeated. We'll keep you posted on that.
And there's Bradley Oquin with a big run. That's a first down to the 34.
He's going to be taken down there by number 55, Chris Wesley. But that's a huge, huge gap for the senior bruiser.
Devontae Clark is in Ricky Preston's place at running back. Not something we normally see, and Devontae Craven's in the backfield for this play. Oquin and Clark are out wide. Ricky Preston and Singleton are receivers. Parent barks out the play orders. Oquin's in motion. It's a pitch to Craven. The defender falls. Craven has a hole.
And Craven's going to pick up about 7.
He'll be to the 24, 26.
We'll also keep you posted on the other 2 games in the district tonight. HL Bourgeois and East St. John are playing, as well as the rivalry game between Central Lafourche and South Lafourche. As you can see here, Craven makes that guy miss. He makes number 22 miss, and he's finally taken down by Nakazi Smith.
And you saw the defender slipped. There was a lot of rain before this game. That might be a story of the game tonight, as Perrin's under center.
It absolutely was last year.
And it looks like it's going to be Bradley Oquin. It looks like he's going to get about to the 25. It's going to be 3rd and short on Hahnville's first drive. Already down in a 7-0 hole.
We got a man down, it looks like, for Terrebonne.
And that is an injury. With an injury for Terrebonne, we'll try to get the number. And with 10:24 left in the first quarter, Terrebonne is up 7-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Zachary Industrial and its employees are committed to safety in the community. Go Tigers! From Zachary Industrial. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention.
And after that injury, that timeout for injury, Hahnville in the huddle. They'll run out onto the field. Drew Dunn is in for Bradley Oquin. Norquell Flowers comes out. Of course, Devontae Clark, the 2 Devontaes, Devontae Clark and Devontae Craven, are lined up wide. Drew Dunn, they'll probably just give it to Drew Dunn here on a 3rd and short. I don't see him trying any major play. Craven's in motion, and they do give it to Drew Dunn, who gets the first down.
Drew Dunn bowling balls his way into the red zone there. And a lot of these widespread changes might have come after the battle on the river, where Coach Salter Formaggio heavily criticized his offense. They were only able to put up 6 points, and it was kind of a consolation touchdown at the end.
He's been quoted as saying our offense couldn't block anyone in that game. And this game, they've looked good. A lot of good running plays. Of course, I don't think many people would compare Terrebonne to Destrehan, as Devontae Clark, his first run of the game, his first run of the season.
Pretty savage block there on Ricky Preston by Trevon Gano.
And he gets to the 10-yard line, as it's going to be 2nd and about 2 as Drew Dunn comes out. Bradley Oquin's in the game. I think a good play here would be a screen to Ricky Preston.
Yeah, I don't think they'd see that coming. He's isolated all the way on the right. It's definitely Definitely a good idea, especially if they're playing zone, which it looks like they are.
Trevon Gano defending him. And Craven in motion. Perrin rolls out. And wide open, Devontae Clark. What a catch.
It's Devontae Clark's first touchdown of the year. And pending the extra point, this one's going to be all tied up.
It's a good throw, Austin. Perrin. And Devontae Clark, a great catch. Able to find the ball. He was wide open.
Offense doesn't look horrible to me so far. You can see here Perrin takes it, fakes a handoff, and of course he rolls out excellently. Awesome.
I know that's Devontae Clark's run. And there's Devontae Clark there, his first touchdown for the Hahnville Tigers. Of course, the sophomore, and Matt Boyer is on for the extra point. And the extra point is up, and it's good.
Yep, sophomore to sophomore connection with the freshman kicking the point after. A lot of youth in this Hahnville squad so far coming through.
That's a very good sign for these Hahnville fans and Coach Salt. He said it during the On the Prowl show this Tuesday. He said they're going to be a great team in a few years. They were hoping they'd be a great team this year. They're still a pretty good team. NOLA.com reported them as being probably the best 2 and 3 team in the state.
It's hard to argue with that. With the way they battled Brummel, the #1 team in the state, Destrehan is really the only team who they haven't been able to play a great game against.
And we have a new kicker. It's Aaron Bourgeois coming out. Kobe Ogeron must have just missed it.
Aaron Bourgeois, of course, was the proponent of the onside kick 2 weeks ago against Thibodaux. It's the only action the junior kicker has seen so far this year, though.
And it would have been a good kick. And it would have really affected the outcome of the game if Dalton Melanson would not have missed the field goal to send the game into overtime. And we'll see what the lefty Aaron Bourgeois does here. And there's the kick. He kicks it to the side. It's going to stay in bounds. It's taken by number 25, Sagan Evans.
Sagan Evans is going to be taken down about the 33-yard line.
Another good return there. We'll see what Terrebonne's offense can do, of course, with a backup quarterback.
It's going to be Justin Terrio there, the running back. He's their leading rusher, and apparently he's going to be their quarterback as well.
Of course, last week in the first quarter, Brett Bergeron went out with a shoulder injury, similar to Mike Neal's injury.
A lot of people thought it was going to be Dylan Bergeron starting. Appears that is not the case.
No, it is Justin Terrio in the backfield, perhaps a Wildcat game. I saw him warming up pregame. He didn't look like a bad quarterback.
It's an empty backfield so far. It's number 23, Joseph Alviso in motion. And it's going to be taken there by Terrio for about no gain.
He'll get nothing on that play. It looks like they'll give him about a few inches.
It's Trayvon Honor who made the final push to take away all forward momentum for the Terrebonne Tigers.
And he was tackled by number 41, Drew Favre. Drew Favre has been one of the breakout players so far on this defense. He's had a few big hits, of course, against Rummel, Landry Walker. He was one of the main defensive players in that game. And he's a senior, but he's been a breakout player.
Drew is just one of those motor players. He's all over the field whenever you need him. He's there to make a tackle. That's going to be handed off to Alvis.
And that's Peyton Robert on the stop. Stephen Cloud in there.
They got about 7 other Tigers in there as well.
Dwayne Thomas in there. Drew Favre. Jacob Plocky.
And just like that, it's about a 3rd and 9 for Terrebonne.
It's not a position Terrebonne wants to be in early in the game. On their first offensive drive, a 3rd and long against this very high-powered Hahnville defense.
It's very senior-laden, so very experienced. They're not going to melt down in these kind of pressures.
And the pass hasn't hurt him at all this year. And Stephen Cloud was the first to him there, and he'll only pick up about 2.
Terrebonne's been a passing offense so far. Of course, with Bergeron out now, it really looks like they're sticking to the run, and it didn't really get them anywhere on that drive as they're going to be punting it here.
That's a big stop for Hahnville's defense. They need a score on this drive. They score on this drive, I think Hahnville might be able to run away with it. I predicted this game to be 49-7 Hahnville.
My prediction was 41-17 Hahnville, so.
Right now I'm looking the better as I have Terrebonne score right.
Yeah.
But plenty of game left. And it's a bad snap. But they weren't sending anyone to him, and it was a good punt.
Very good punt. Fair catch is going to be called for, but Hahnville's just going to let Terrebonne touch it, and it takes a massive Terrebonne balance.
That'll be down at the 7.
Beautiful punt there by Travis Manor.
It was a good job to keep a cool head there. As the snap was really low, he had to fumble it from the ground, but a good punt.
The senior kicker has been ace under pressure here. He's 7 for 7 on field goals and extra points, and he's been very good in the punting game as well.
That's about the opposite of Hahnville's special teams.
Couldn't be any more right. Hahnville starting here in the shadow of their own end zone. Far cry from last drive where they started about near midfield.
And now maybe a story as Norquell Flowers in the game for Devontae Craven. Coach Salt said Devontae was a little banged up. They had a few big hits against Destrehan last week. It looks like he'll come back in the game. I saw him run on the sideline with his helmet. And they give it to Norquell Flowers, who has a hole. Norquell Flowers got a few good blocks, cuts back in, and gets to about the 27.
Norquell Flowers, of course, has shown some explosiveness this year in kind of a limited role. Of course, he's struggled with fumbles. He's already fumbled the ball 3 times. So we'll see how much of a role he has today.
Watch the replay.
If this
Devontae Clark was in motion, good fake there.
If this run has any indication, Hahnville's going to be running all over Terrebonne all night.
And that just opens up the pass game with Brandon Singleton and Ricky Preston. Brandon Singleton, probably one of the best wide receivers in the state, just doesn't get a lot of touches. The Georgia Tech commit.
Of course, he's going to Georgia Tech. He's getting used to the triple option right now. Georgia Tech, a triple option school, and that's going to be...
That's Drew Dunn. Get about 8 yards there.
Typical Drew Dunn kind of carry there.
He doesn't look like as excited as he normally does. Normally he's pretty fired up. We saw against Rummel.
Yeah,
he beat his head about 7 times.
He's just kind of having his run-of-the-mill 8-yard per carry night so far. So.
Yeah, it's been a normal for Drew Dunn this year. Of course, the last few games, though, him and Bradley Oquent have been shut out against Destrehan and against Thibodaux. It's been one of the main factors in the game.
That's probably what Terrebonne's defense needs to do the most, is they need to be physical and they need to force Hahnville to pass, and so far that has not happened.
And they're playing off of Ricky Preston a lot. And there's a fumble, and Terrebonne will pick it up. That's number 5, Charles Clark, picking it up. He was the one that supplied the pressure. Austin Perrin had to make a quick decision, and the sophomore quarterback, it wasn't a good one.
Yeah, he made a sophomore decision right there.
That's maybe where you miss Mike Neal, and now Terrebonne definitely needs to capitalize on this. A good play by Clark there, staying with the ball. Charles Clark, that is, not number 2 for Hahnville. Number 5 for Terrebonne. And a great heads-up play by him.
And now Terrebonne's in excellent field position here. We'll see the true mettle and grit of the Hahnville defense so far this game, as they're starting to back up against their own end zone. Terry is escaping the pressure. That's going to be a costly drop there. That one was intended to Jordan Quigg. That's a very costly drop.
First time we've seen Terrio pass the ball tonight. It's an incompletion, but it was mainly a drop. It wasn't on Terrio. You see pressure there from Josh Commerdell and Jacob Poake.
You heard footsteps. Absolutely. And at 6 minutes, they're taking a halfway through the quarter timeout.
And it looked like it was Chris Marshall that was applying the pressure on the receiver, forcing him to drop the ball.
Terrio in the empty backfield shotgun. He's going to hand the ball off there to Joseph Alvis, and Joseph Alvis is going to pick up the first down, it looks like.
It looks like they'll mark him just short. He's on the 15. It looks like the marker is on the 14 and 7/8, it looks like. And it will be second down.
He's about a foot or two short.
Joseph Alvis on the tackle. It's not Elvis, it's Alvis. Spelled with an A.
Alvis is very much in the building right now.
That was a good hard run. And the tackle there, John Knight, of course, got thrown out the game last week. Got benched the week before, but they need him to play well. And a great one-handed catch right there by Alvis, but he got nowhere as it's Jacob Poake on the tackle. Also in there, Drew Favre again.
You got to like what you're seeing so far from this Hahnville defense as far as the fundamentals are concerned. They're making their tackles when they need to.
But their offense definitely doesn't need to fumble the ball in the red zone, in Terrebonne's red zone.
They've had a major problem with fumbles in the last couple games, especially against Thibodaux.
And here they're lining up for the field goal. It's going to be Travis Manor to kick the field goal on 4th and about 3. Maybe we'll see some trickeration from Terrebonne. Maybe some Les Miles trickeration. And it looks like they got him to jump off sides.
Looks like that was the plan the entire time, and that's going to give Terrebonne a new set of downs.
And it looks like it's on the Tigers, and it'll be, yes, offsides on the Tigers.
You see Sean Payton pull that kind of stuff all the time for the New Orleans Saints. You see him try to catch people off sides, and in this case, Terrebonne took a page out of his playbook, and it worked. The drive for 7 is very much alive for Terrebonne.
And Terrebonne's also in a position to get another first down. They'll have to get to about the 3 to get a first down here. And Terrio lined up alone in the backfield. Alvis in motion. Terrio will pass it. It's a little fade. And way overthrown. John Knight on the coverage there. The Terrebonne receiver looking for a flag, but it was so overthrown that you can't throw a flag on that play. And now it's 2nd and 10.
You see Jordan Quigg is kind of hobbled a little bit. Looks like he'll stay in the game.
Hahnville's defense maybe needs to cause a turnover here. I'd like them to get a turnover so Terrebonne could stay at 7, so maybe my prediction could be right. But it looks like so far it's going to be a high-scoring game. And it's, ooh, a big hit.
Did he get there?
And they're saying he didn't. He'll be stopped at the 2, as John Knight looks like he shook himself up on that play.
What a tackle, though. He saved the touchdown there for sure.
Yeah, good play from John Knight. As we watch the replay, let's see if you could hear a loud boom on your TVs at home. Dwayne Thomas probably should have been playing Terrio a lot closer. And he got the pylon.
Yeah.
I guess they're saying he stepped out.
They marked it at the 1, so it's going to be a goal line stand here. 1st and goal.
Against Thibodaux, Hahnville had a big goal line stand early. And new quarterback, that's Dylan Bergeron, the brother of the injured quarterback for Terrebonne. And there's another flag as it's another offsides on Hahnville.
Quite literally, Terrebonne is inching its way towards the end zone right now. It's going to be half the distance to the goal.
And the stand against Thibodaux was about at the 1-yard line, probably about the half-yard line. It was a good defensive stand, but 1st and goal at the half-yard line, it's going to be tough to keep this Terrebonne running game out of the end zone. And maybe, just maybe, Justin Terrio got hurt on that play, and that's why he's out, but it looked like he got up after the hit. See Bergeron hands it off, and
Alvis is not going to make it.
That's Damian Campbell on the tackle, the senior.
Wrapped up by Campbell. And Alvis. 2nd goal.
And Terrio comes back in the game, and he moves it back about a half a yard. So now it'll be from about the 1.
Big 2nd down here. Do you pass it if you're Terrebonne?
I don't think you would. They have some ball hawks on this Hahnville Tiger defense.
Shamonte Williams, a very, very big example.
And we have a timeout called by Terrebonne with 3:40 left. Terrebonne are looking at the end zone. It is 7-7.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. The Hahnville High School Tiger football team would like to thank Mr. Butch Hockman for sponsoring the jambalaya for the post-game meal. Jambalaya to feed the team after the game. Thank you, Mr. Butch Hockman. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Your half and half tonight will be worth $263. We'll be calling it
Critical 2nd down and goal here now for Terrebonne.
Hahnville's defense walks onto the field. Terrebonne's still in the huddle. They'll come out. We'll see who the quarterback is. It looks like it's Terrio.
It actually looks like Bergeron's out there. Terrebonne.
No, that is Bergeron. Terrio is in the backfield.
This is going to be very interesting to see how this 2-quarterback system works. Bergeron more of a passer, Terrio more of a scrambler.
Maybe a trick play. Maybe they pitch it to Terrio. And they pass the ball. Now they'll just hand it off to Terrio, who dives over, and it looks like he got the end zone.
What a leap.
It was a good leap from Terrio.
It looked like he made it.
And there's a touchdown.
Terrebonne.
Touchdown, Terrebonne.
What a leap there. He's looking like NBA rookie Zach LaVine right there.
Early on, Terrebonne looks like they have control of this game.
That was a very risky leap there. As you can see, fumble could have been very possible there. It looked like it had broke the plane now.
Here's the extra point from Manor. It's 1 for 1 so far in this game. Well, actually 2 for 2. They had a penalty, and now he's 3 for 3 if you don't count the penalty. And with 3:28, this could be a shocker. Terrebonne 14, Hahnville 7.
Hahnville 7. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Tan Troxler Assessment, Hahnville High School graduate class of 1991. Wishes the Hahnville Tigers the best of luck. Go Tigers. Tan Troxler, your assessment.
Kicking off for Terrebonne will be number 19, Travis Manor. He's been a man of many phases tonight, kicking off punting and kicking extra points. Back to return, Ricky Preston. Right-footed Manor lines up for the kick. And it's a kickoff this time. Last time they had an onside kick. It looks like it's going to be Anthony Williams on the return.
Williams.
Will he find a hole?
He
does.
Like he
Anthony
does.
Williams.
Hahnville.
One man to beat, and it's the kicker. And he gets chased down from behind. Anthony Williams, the defensive back, gets to about the 40. He's a freshman.
All of a sudden, Hahnville, a very good position once again.
Last year, Anthony Williams playing for R.K. Smith. Seemed he averaged about 8 touchdowns a play. They line him up at defensive back at Hahnville and on kickoffs, and he's very fast, very explosive for a freshman. One of the many explosive and talented underclassmen on this Hahnville team has a great cut there. And Perrin lines up under center.
It's going to be...
And it's given to Devontae Clark. Devontae Clark tries to get to the outside, and he'll get about 5 yards on that play.
At this point, if you're Hahnville, just handing the ball off has been so effective, so brutally effective. I don't know why you do the option again at this point. It's been very fumble.
Devontae Craven is back in the game. Perhaps they need to hand it off. Maybe a throw. They have a pretty small defensive back on Ricky Preston on this play. And there's another flag. It looks like it's going to be on Hahnville, and it's a false start on Hahnville.
It's going to be on Devontae Clark, it looks like.
Perhaps some inexperience showing there. On the touchdown play earlier, some experience showing, but some inexperience there.
Clark gets 5 yards by himself, and with the penalty, he takes away 5 yards by himself. 2nd and 9. Ball's going to be pitched back to Craven.
And
that's going to be
falls, and it looks like it'll be a block in the back on Ricky Preston.
He blocked Jeff DeRoche on that, and that's just not a good block at all. You're going to call it for that one every time.
You know, maybe that was a good play, as it'll be 2nd and long instead of 3rd and long.
Right.
Hahnville's offense, they might be able to fight back for 1st down with 3rd and long. I'm not sure.
One thing's for sure, we might be seeing the passing game here. It's a distinct
Norquell
possibility.
Flowers comes in for Devontae Craven. That's already 5 penalties on Hahnville tonight.
That's been another one of the things that's really been killing them. Hahnville's had a pretty effective offense and a very good defense. They just haven't done the little things right. So they need to.
It looks like a ref might have forgotten to pick up a flag.
He's got it now.
And he's going to get it. And Perrin will line up under center. 3 wide receivers at this time. Not a normal set for Hahnville's offense. And Perrin will roll out. And hits Brandon Singleton. Brandon Singleton cuts back if he can make a man miss, and he can't. And it'll be about 3rd and 5 now instead of 3rd and about 20.
That's going to be Singleton's first catch, and it could not have come at a bigger time, as now is a very manageable 3rd down.
I think if they're going to come back in this game, they need to utilize Brandon Singleton. I said it last week on the pregame show for the Battle on the Rigger that they needed to utilize him, and they weren't able to. Of course, he had 123 yards. If you consider that utilizing him, but it was a little too late for them throwing the ball to Brandon Singleton. And
about half of those yardage came on one 55-yard touchdown at the very end. So Oakland, the lone man in the backfield, and Perrin's going to throw it.
It's thrown up to Brandon Singleton, who stuck a hand out and was not able to get it.
Good coverage there by Trevor Gano. And it looks like Hahnville's going to be punting the ball.
Of course, if you're looking and saying, why would you say they're punting? Austin Perrin's still on the field. He is the punter. But the offense is staying on the field. They'll go for it on this 4th and 5.
Yeah, this isn't great field position for Terrebonne if they give it up. It's probably a worthwhile risk. They can't risk giving the ball to Terrebonne here. And maybe Terrebonne breaking off a punt return and really taking the game by storm.
If you look at the home sideline, the defensive backs for Terrebonne are playing really off of him. It's Devontae Clark. And gets the first down, still muscling. He gets to the 20. It's a 15-yard run on 4th and 5.
You know what? That's a senior play for a sophomore player. Awesome.
So far, he's been electric in this game. Of course, 1 penalty, 1 touchdown, a few good runs.
I bet you Hahnville fans are probably wondering why he hasn't been on the field sooner.
And Clark's in motion.
And it's going to be handed off to Oakland. Oakland will bully forward for 5 yards. His typical bowling ball run.
If you watch Oakland and Drew Dunn run, they do look like bowling balls.
Absolutely. And you have to give a lot of the credit to the interior offensive line. They do a great job of blocking in those kind of plays.
The last few games, they needed a little more from him, though. Of course, the loss to Thibodeau and the loss to Destrehan.
So far, we've seen that Terrebonne's not necessarily as physical in defense as Destrehan or Thibodeau. That could really come back to bite them.
And we'll see if Hahnville runs the fade here on 2nd and long.
They're not.
They'll give it to Devontae Clark. Devontae Clark has the middle.
And
it's a touchdown, Devontae Clark.
His 2nd touchdown of the night.
And we might be looking at one of the great rushing performances of the season for District 7 5A so far. Devontae Clark. He's nearing around 50 yards tonight.
He's got a receiving one and a running one now, so.
And he also has about 20 yards receiving. Big night for Devontae Clark if he could keep this going. It's Matt Boyer on the extra point to tie it up. It's up and it's good. Of course, 1 minute left in the first quarter. Hahnville 14, Terrebonne 14. Kicking for Hahnville will be Aaron Bourgeois. His first kick was fielded at about the 25. We'll see what he does here.
Of course, Terrebonne, this isn't the first time they've played a team that many think are better than them close early on. They did this 2 weeks ago against Destrehan. We're tied 14-14 very early on in the game before Destrehan cruised to a 42-17 game.
And it's about the same exact kick from Aaron Bourgeois, but it looks like this one goes out of bounds, and that's a flag.
And it's going to be
kick off out of bounds will be the flag.
And it's going to be spotted about the 35.
So Terrebonne with decent field position.
It's very doable.
If you look, we'll give you a little game recap here. Terrebonne's 14 points. One was a kickoff return for a touchdown on the first play of the game, and one was set up by a fumble
But of course, for Hahnville, they've gotten a massive contribution from the little utilized to not at all utilized Devontae Clark, the sophomore running back. He's got a receiving touchdown as well as a rushing one, and he's the reason why Hahnville's level. We'll see.
And Terrio will line up at quarterback. And Terrio will take it himself, and he'll get nowhere. Hahnville's defensive line have had great penetration tonight.
I'm not sure if that was a misread or what, but it looked like he just pretty much ran into a brick wall.
Stephen Cloud looks like he may have hurt his hand. Of course, Fred Brown is out for tonight's game. In his place is Trayvon Honor, the sophomore. Of course, Stephen Cloud, Jacob Plaque, and Josh Commerdale, the other ones on the defensive line. Of course, they've started every game. Then Dwayne Thomas, Peyton Robert, and Drew Favre are the linebackers. Jai Knight, Chris Marshall, number 23, Justin Young, and Eric Gilmore are the defensive backs.
And the senior scrambling, he is not going to get the first down. He's stuffed.
And they rule him down by contact. He fought for a little extra yards, but the whistle had blown.
Forward momentum had been stopped. The first quarter is over. We have a game here, folks. Terrebonne Tigers 14, Hahnville Tigers 14.
Hahnville 14, Terrebonne 14.
Teams have switched sides, and we're ready to get the second quarter underway. Terrio still in the backfield. It'll be 3rd and 5 for Terrebonne.
They're on their own 40.
I'm sure Hahnville wants to give the ball back and give it back to Devontae Clark. And there'll be another flag, and
it looks like it's another offsides.
And they'll set him up about 3rd and 1.
If that. That's another penalty for Hahnville. It's a 3rd offsides penalty for the purple and gold Tigers, and Terrebonne they've been using the silent count, and that has really been destroying Hahnville.
And it looks like 3rd and about a centimeter, maybe even a nanometer here. Damian Campbell comes in for Stephen Cloud. That's a defensive back in for a defensive lineman. Not something you normally see on 3rd and really short. Also coming in for this play, Carmichael Critton.
And they're going to be moving the chains. They've measured it.
And it's going to be a first down, and back comes Stephen Cloud and Justin Young for Carmichael Critton.
And it's Justin Terrio who's back in the huddle.
We haven't seen much of Terrebonne's pass offense this far.
Isolated on the right here is Devon Gano. He's definitely one to watch. Terrio's taking it himself. Dwayne Thomas is getting him, and the Raging Cajun's going to take him out of bounds. The future Raging Cajun, I should say.
Dwayne Thomas, he's had probably the most tackles on this team. It's a toss-up between him and Peyton Robert for most tackles. And Terrio will tie his shoe on the sideline. Talk about a shoe line tackle.
Yeah. He's no Denard Robinson. He's going to lace him up. And hopefully is going to drive his team to a first down. It's 2nd and 9 right now at the Terrebonne 46.
Terry, the lone man in the backfield. He'll take it, rolls out, and pitches it to Alvin. Alvin will go nowhere.
They'll lose a yard or two there.
And for Terrebonne's offense, it's been a whole lot of nothing tonight.
Yep, they've probably gained the most yards, honestly, on the offsides from Hahnville. So
yeah, there's been 3 offsides calls so far. Rack that up, that's 15 yards. But this one, an offsides won't give him a first down, as it's 3rd and 11. Terrio still in the game. Terrio and Alvin in the backfield this time. Terrio rolls out, looking to pass. They're trying to get a screen game to Alvin, but great defense there from the Tigers, but there's still a play. And Jai Knight, and they threw a flag on something.
That might have been a late hit as the quarterback was going out of bounds. And you can see, you're gonna hear the student section not very happy with it. Hopefully you can't hear it, but.
And no, it's a block on the back on Terrebonne. And they'll just move them back more as they'll replay 3rd down. And no, it's declined. And it'll be 4th down.
Hahnville Tiger fans are really sighing relief here.
And back to return for Hahnville, Brandon Singleton. He's had a punt return for a touchdown against Rummel. One that could have gone if he would have just made one more tackle missed one more tackle against Destrehan. He's been great so far in the punt return game. We talked about him early on in the passing game. The punt return game, he's equally as explosive, if not more.
He had the 69-yard punt return against Archbishop Rummel to give Hahnville the lead, 17-10 in the first half. That was a very
game
big
that, of
play.
course, went to triple overtime.
That was one of the 2 Hahnville have played.
And a high snap. Stephen Cloud was the lone man rushing there, and
that's going to be another massive Terrebonne bounce. And the Maroon and Gold are going to down that one at the Hahnville 9.
Of course, the last time they had a good punt, Hahnville fumbled the ball at about the 17-yard line. And with 10:52 left in the second quarter, Hahnville 14, Terrebonne 14.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. You're looking for a job, have staffing needs. Call AMPM at 985-785-6857 or visit our website at www.ampmstaffing.com.
Hahnville will have the ball at about the 9-yard line. And timeout, Hahnville.
We have a timeout on the field, called by Hahnville. We have the first timeout for the first half. Half and half. Yeah, half and half. Half and half ticket is worth $263. Your winning number. 2, 5, 3, 7, 4, 1. That winning number, 253 741. Worth $263. Come to the press box, collect your winning.
Austin Parent will be lined up in the backfield. In the game on the offensive line, Sanders Johnson for the Tigers. Maybe that was an injury on the offensive line there. As Bradley Oquin takes the ball about 5 yards to the 14.
Once again, your typical Bradley Oquin rush. That's what we've come to expect of him.
Hey, if you do the math, 5 yards a run, that gives you a first down in 2 plays.
Right. I'm sure Hahnville would take that in a heartbeat.
And it'll be 2nd down. And it's a pitch. Devontae Craven.
Craven's going to get to about the 21 here.
And that's a first down for Hahnville.
He's taken down by Josh Garrett, the senior defensive lineman.
Sanders Johnson comes out of the game and Ricky Preston comes in. Perrin under center, of course, where they like to run it, and they're playing off Singleton a lot. A screen game to Singleton here, that could go for 6.
Right, they have Ricky Preston there as well. Screen to him might not be a bad idea either.
They don't have a single player more than 10 yards, and the one player that's back 10 yards is on Brandon Singleton. But they'll still hand it off. Maybe they're trying to back up the defense a little more, get a lot of space. Brandon Singleton, if he has about 2 yards to make a cut, he'll make that cut. And it'll be hard to bring him down. And Sanders Johnson comes back in for Ricky Preston. Poor Sanders is definitely not a receiver. He's just giving him a little more beef on the offensive line. The snap is given to Devontae Clark.
And Clark's going to get lost in the shuffle there. He's not going to pick up very much.
And that's his first short run tonight.
Right.
There's a lot of good runs.
Devontae Clark is electric. In no way is he super beefy like a Drew Dunn, like a Bradley Oquin.
And as we say that, Drew Dunn comes out and Bradley Oquin comes in. Sanders Johnson and Devontae Craven come out for Ricky Preston and Norquell Flowers. We're probably looking at a pass. And Austin Perrin under center. He rolls out. It will be a pass. Finds Brandon Singleton. Singleton, a good stiff arm, but holding on was Jordan Quigg, holding on to his feet, but he'll get to about the 41.
Jordan Quigg is an Iron Man for the Terrebonne Tigers. We've seen him on defense so far make a play. And we've seen him as wide receiver as well.
And they ran that play a lot against Destrehan, and it normally went for success. As Preston, Singleton still wound up wide, Devontae Clark in the backfield, and it's handed to Bradley Oquin. Bradley Oquin. He's still up.
He Michael Dyered. He didn't go down, and he's going to pick up 20 there. What a burst of
speed. He goes from 140
speed.
to the other 40. And maybe about the 39 as they're spotting him on the 40, but big hard run by Bradley Oquin. He might not celebrate as much as Drew Dunn would, but he's equally as good, if not a little bit better than Drew Dunn.
And man, he went from 0 to 60 in no time at all. He accelerated. And I
My
think
car can't even accelerate that fast.
I think that might have been the key to that run. He found the hole and he ran it to glory.
Drew Dunn comes in. He's had a lot of big power rushes so far. Of course, the one against Rummel, we talk about it a lot. They had about 7 defenders on him. That's a Rummel defense that knows how to tackle.
They're well coached and they're very well
trained. Given to Drew Dunn, and
that's not getting stopped.
Touchdown, Drew Dunn.
And
that's a 40-yard rush there from Drew Dunn.
Once again, Devontae Clark though on that play, he sealed the edge that really allowed Drew Dunn to rest easy.
Dunn, if you want some nostalgia, that run looks like a run we saw a few years ago from Jairus Evans, the fullback. He had about a 60-yard touchdown run, and those short legs were definitely churning. And Matt Boyer on the extra point to give Hahnville a 7-point lead.
Snap is good.
It's good from Matt Boyer. Matt Boyer, he's been perfect tonight. And with 7 minutes and 46 seconds left, Hahnville 21, Terrebonne's 14. Aaron Bourgeois back out to kick. They won't take him out after that kickoff out of bounds. And the lefty is lining up like it's an onside kick.
Interesting.
Maybe Coach Saul doing some trickeration. Doesn't look like Terrebonne's ready for it. Doesn't even look like they realize what's going on.
No, they do not. Maybe that's truly the reason why Bourgeois is out right now.
And no, as he kicks it,
it's going to be a splice.
And Hahnville could fall on that. That's a live ball. Let's see who they give it to. Oh, they give it to Terrebonne.
Wow, I've never seen anything like that. That was almost nuts.
We said it looked like an onside kick, but it could have been returned by Hahnville.
That would have probably gone down in history as the longest onside kick ever. I've never seen a 50-yard onside kick before.
Aaron Bourgeois, even when he doesn't try it, he's an onside kick specialist.
Yeah.
But Hahnville wasn't able to get this one. If they would have, Aaron Bourgeois might have been on our top 10.
Absolutely. The momentum would have swung so far in Hahnville's favor.
Hahnville still needs to look sharp on defense. Of course, they look sharp on offense. Penalties has hurt them on defense. They look sharp on defense.
They've looked good with the basic tackling and all, but they've been pretty easily blocked, and obviously they've committed the penalties. We'll see if they can cut down on that this drive.
And Dylan Bergeron in the shotgun.
It's going to be a handoff for nothing.
And there's a flag. Looks like it was thrown at an offensive lineman. We'll have to see. He threw it in the pile. We're not sure. There's a long conversation. We'll see what the call is as he picks up the flag. And it's no flag.
So, 2nd and nothing, basically. 2nd and 10.
Bergeron still at quarterback. Terrio not in the game. Alvin's the running back.
Snap to Bergeron.
Pass. He has a man open.
That's going to be Casey Castle, and Casey Castle's going to pick up about 5.
And a big hit there by Chris Marshall. He could be Chris Marshall. It might have gone for a first down, but Chris Marshall, a great open field tackle. As you look at the replay, Bergeron, good pass. It was kind of slow, but Chris Marshall, big hit there.
Yep. The curl flats worked pretty well for Terrebonne there.
Maybe we'll see Terrebonne start running that play a lot more with Bergeron in the game.
Yeah, they definitely looked a lot better with Bergeron in a QB than with Terrio.
And it looks like a power set for Terrebonne. Watch them to pass out of this. They don't. They give it to Alvin, and there's a penalty as Alvin gets close to the first down. Looks like it's in the area, maybe a holding.
It is. That's going to back up the Terrebonne Tigers.
Replay 3rd down.
If they would have...
They'll move them back. Bergeron stays in the game. An obvious passing situation.
Right.
They don't want to have to punt from here. That would give Hahnville pretty good field position. If Singleton can make a return.
That's one thing they don't want to do at all.
There's a man in motion. Bergeron will pass.
That's a rocket.
There's a man, and it's intercepted by Eric Gilmore.
Gilmore is going to return it to about midfield. He's taken down by Devontae Gaino.
He's taken down at the 44. Interception for Eric Gilmore. Before that interception, the only player that's had an interception on this Hahnville defense was Jamonte Williams. Jamonte Williams hasn't been in the game tonight.
And it was a pretty decent play call, but no receivers were able to get separation.
Eric Gilmore played the coverage perfectly.
Bergeron tried to make a play there where there was none, and that ended up being the downfall.
And now Hahnville able to cushion their lead right here if they can get into the end zone. Devontae Clark in the game, and they'll give it to Oquen, who powers forward for about 5 yards. Yards after contact has been Bradley Oquen's forte tonight.
Oquen has been automatic so far.
And it looks like he lost a shoe. Some nice silver shoes he wears, and Drew Dunn will come in the game.
Everything lined up on the right here. Preston and Singleton, and Craven for that matter. Craven also up there.
And if you're wondering about Preston as a receiver, last year he played as a receiver. That's all he lined up as, and it's to Devontae Clark. It's caught. Perfect pass as Clark will get to about the 21.
What hasn't Clark been able to do so far? He's blocked, he's ran, he's caught, he's made plays where there weren't any.
He's been the Iron Man tonight. As a perfect touch there by Perrin, perfect route run by Clark, and a great catch.
Really, the only mistake the sophomores made so far this game was the false start on him.
As Ricky Preston comes out of the game for Sanders Johnson, the O-lineman. And they give it to Drew Dunn. Drew Dunn will get tackled short, about a 2-yard pickup.
Great tackle there for Terrebonne. They haven't been able to stop number 47, but they did so this time.
And number 47 comes out, and number 3, Bradley Oakland, comes in.
Pretty regularly, you see him switch pretty much every play, every other play, just keep the defense on their toes.
And Ricky Preston stays out. Sanders Johnson stays in. Brandon Singleton, the only receiver lined up wide. I've been waiting for a screen to him. The defender's playing about 10 yards off of him.
That's
and
going to be
it's Bradley Oakland. Of course, they haven't had to run the screen tonight. And if the offense ain't broke, don't fix it.
Tackle is going to be on Deontay Walters for Terrebonne. As Hahnville's march towards the end zone will continue now on the Terrebonne 14. They got about 3 yards to go.
We'll see what they do here.
It's going to be hand off to Clark.
Devontae Clark gets to about the 2.
He was about a yard or two short of a hat trick right there.
Maybe we'll see Devontae Clark have a passing touchdown, and he could have the true hat trick.
Absolutely.
A passing, a rushing, and a receiving touchdown. Of course, he's already got the receiving. He's already got the rushing as they take him out here. As he won't be able to go for the hat trick on this play. Tim and Brandon Singleton come out, and they bring in another offensive lineman. Bring in an offensive lineman for Hahnville right now.
Carmichael Critton's in. Torrin Bourne is in.
Sanders Johnson is in for Ricky Preston.
And you see you got Craven, Drew Dunn.
Carmichael Critton's lined up in the backfield. They give it to Devontae Craven, who goes in for a touchdown. Great blocking there. Devontae Craven scores.
That's going to be Devontae Craven's 3rd or 4th touchdown of the year.
And they throw a flag. It looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct on Devontae Craven. Looks like he might have pulled a hamstring. He was holding his upper leg, his upper thigh. We'll see what the flag is. It is unsportsmanlike conduct on Devontae Craven.
Not a good penalty there once again. Even though it won't take away the touchdown, it'll definitely hurt him as far as field position is concerned. Yes, they'll be kicking.
Hahnville, they've had a few short kickoffs tonight.
They'll be kicking from the 20 this time. Of course, that might just be the impetus that Hahnville needs to maybe go for an onside kick. I'm just saying.
Here's Matt Boyer. He's 3 for 3 on point after touchdowns. Will he stay Mr. Perfect?
Hold is good, and he will.
4 for 4 from Matt Boyer. And with 3:47 left until halftime, Hahnville 28, Terrebonne 14.
We got a shootout.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Custom Creations and More provides reasonably priced custom framing and customizable gifts and home decor. Follow us on Facebook and stop by to support local talent. We are proud to support our alma mater, Go Tigers, Custom Creations and More. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. Representative Cedric Richmond of the 2nd Congressional District is proud to sponsor this forum. Congressman Cedric Richmond wishes all Hahnville students, teachers, and parents a great homecoming.
Looks like we'll see Hahnville kicking from the 25 here. Aaron Bourgeois will be on the onside kick. And it's a very high kick, not a very far kick, and this is going to be a fair catch called for there by Joseph Alvis, and they'll be lined up at about the Hahnville or the Terrebonne 42 for the Terrebonne Tigers. Terrebonne will line up here at the 42. Quarterback will be Dylan Bergeron. And Joseph Alvis in motion. He's going to receive the handoff, and pretty interesting second effort. He'll probably get about 2 yards from where he would have been tackled, but it's still going to be no gain. So it will be second down here as the clock is winding down. We're just under 3.5 minutes now. So Hahnville tries to make a stand here and enter the half with a multiple score lead after the scare that they've received earlier with the opening kickoff touchdown for Terrebonne. It's been a pretty good bounce back for them. They've done what they've needed to do on defense. Really, the only sore spot has been penalties, and Joseph Alvis does a good job to corral that one, but once again, it'll be about a 3-yard gain, 4-yard gain, something like that. He's going to be taken down there by Josh Commerdale and Drew Fabre. Third down for the Terrebonne Tigers. They'll have it about the 44. It'll be a 3rd and 8.
Terrebonne will play 3rd and 4.
Both teams are at 2 timeouts right now. We could definitely see Terrebonne take advantage of that if they can convert this 3rd down and start driving. It's going to be a fake handoff. Terrio's going to take it himself, and Terrio's going to convert it. Terrio's on the run, and Terrio, one man to beat. He's going to be taken down by Eric Gilmore. Will it be in time? It will. It looks like it'll be inside of the 1-yard line, though. Looks like it's time to see, once again, what Hahnville's goal line defense is all about. Ball spotted about the half-yard line. Couldn't be any closer. You can see there, Alvis in motion. They sold out on Alvis, and great blocking there, and Terrio was able to scramble for a very sizable gain. He was able to outrun Damian Campbell and Jai Knight. He was finally taken down by Gilmore. And just like that, Terrebonne could very well make this a 1-score game headed into the half. Clock is ticking. And it is no longer ticking. Terrebonne's going to take a timeout. They're going to be down to 1 as they're going to try to get their plays in order.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's it. Get your iPhone cracked. Go to Repair That. Even the worst breaks, no problem. You take our smartphones. What about that iPad that's shattered? We fix them all at Repair That. Located in St. Charles Plaza, in Lewis. 75-0090.
Big goal line opportunity here for Terrebonne as they will try to make it a 20-21 game headed in the second half. Got to figure that would be a very, very big boon for Terrebonne. And it's going to be handed off to Joseph Alvin, and Joseph Alvin will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Terrebonne. Pending the extra point, it will be a 7-point game once again. Got to credit Terrebonne. They've come into a pretty hostile environment, and they've really done well to keep this game close against Hahnville. And excellent leap here from Alvin. Alvin dives over the goal line, and he was not being stopped. An update from Thibodaux, Louisiana. The Destrehan Wildcats 5-0 have a lead on the 5-0 Thibodaux Tigers 7-0. That was a big one. Of course, both those teams have defeated Hahnville. That's Hahnville's last 2 losses. And, well, we'll be back for the kickoff. Got the kickoff here. It will be Travis Manor taking it. And we've got an update in Gray, Louisiana and Terrebonne Parish. The HL Bourgeois Braves, Terrebonne's major rivals, are currently down 13-0 at home to the East St. John Wildcats. Hahnville will be playing East St. John on the road next week. And that's going to be a successful onside kick for Terrebonne. Travis Manor, what can he do? It was recovered by Darren Perrio, and just like that, Terrebonne has an excellent chance here to tie the game up. It was well taken right over the first line from Hahnville, and the Purple and Gold Tigers are just caught napping. Just like that, Terrebonne is going to be starting at the Hahnville 35. Excellent field position. Can't really ask for any better from your kicker. And once again, Hahnville's special teams has really put its defense in some bad situations. We'll see what the defense can do here. As you can see, the freshman Anthony Williams is on at cornerback. Terrio back. Terrio is airing it out. And it's going to be a touchdown to Devon Gano. And just like that, the Hahnville home crowd is stunned. It was a 28-14 lead in about 20 seconds. That lead is evaporated. Pending the extra point here, it will be a tie ball game. Terrebonne is hungry. They're not going to be stopped. Hahnville's played sloppy in some aspects, and right there the defense was caught napping. And just like that, Travis Manor on the extra point here. Holding will be Dylan Bergeron. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good. Terrebonne Tigers 28, Hahnville Tigers 28. 1 minute and 28 to go. Kickoff coming here. As you can see there on the replay, it's an excellent throw from Terrio. He made a senior throw all right, and it's an excellent catch by Gano, the sophomore. And Terrebonne surprising a couple people. 28-28 in Hahnville. Hahnville's no stranger to close games. The only real not close games were their opening game blowout against Salmon and their 24-6 loss to Destrehan last week. They played 2 triple overtime games as well as a game that ended on a missed field goal for Hahnville. But against Terrebonne, I don't think a lot of people saw this one coming. It'll be Travis Manor kicking off again. We'll see if there's any more trickery to be had. And maybe there is. It's going to be recovered by Hahnville. Chris Marshall recovers that one, and Hahnville dodges a major bullet. But it looks like Terrebonne's done their homework. They found some major holes in Hahnville's kick return game. They almost took advantage of that once again. We'll see what their offense can do. They'll be spotted about their own 38. They got a minute 26. We'll see if they try to drive the field or if they're content to go into half with a lead. Or with a tie. You can see only man wide is Brandon Singleton on the right. Parent under center. He's going to give the ball to Devontae Craven. Devontae Craven's got quite a bit of room. He stays on his feet. He's got some blocks, and he's going to be taken down at about the Terrebonne 30. What a carry for Craven. He's taken down by Trevin Gano, but it's hard to do any better than that. But Craven's coming up seriously hobbled. His knee's really bothering him. But Devontae Craven leaving it all on the field. And he's got a touchdown. That's really his 3rd big carry of the night. And Bradley Oakland's taking it. Bradley Oakland is going to get about 8 yards. Clock is under a minute here, but it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility for Hahnville to take a lead headed into half.
Hahnville plays 2nd and 4.
2nd down and 4 here for Hahnville. That's the 25-yard line. Anxious to get in the red zone or the end zone. Perrin rolling out, and he's looking. And it looks like we're going to see defensive pass interference. That one was intended to Devontae Clark. We'll see what the call is. Pass interference on the defense. And just like that, Hahnville is set up in the red zone. They have their eyes on the prize. They'll be starting this set of downs from Terrebonne's 9-yard line. We're down to 30 seconds left in the game. Hahnville still has 2 timeouts left, so figure rushing the ball in the end zone, definitely not the worst way to go at this point. We got Oakland in the backfield. Devontae Craven and Devontae Clark are out as tailbacks. Redden Singleton out wide on the right. Perrin takes the snap, and he's going to hand the ball off to Craven, and Craven's going to get about 2 yards. He's going to be muscled down by Charles Clark.
Short game. We have a timeout on the field called by Hahnville. The 2nd timeout of the first half.
And Hahnville will take their 2nd timeout. Second down and 9 for the Hahnville Tigers after Devontae Craven rushes for no gain. And we'll see Hahnville's 2nd attempt to punch it into the goal.
Hahnville plays 2nd and 9.
And Perrin in the shotgun. He's looking for Singleton, and Singleton, his pass was overthrown. Singleton had no chance at that one. And it's going to be 3rd down and 9 here. At halftime in Thibodaux, the score is Destrehan 7, Thibodaux 0. And of course here we're inching towards halftime, just 19 seconds left. Perrin's in the backfield. The rollout, and Ricky Preston drops it. I don't know if he'd have made the touchdown or not, but point is moot after that one. That was a bad drop. And just like that, it's going to be the freshman Matt Boyer out to attempt his first field goal of the game. Of course, Matt did not play in either in the last game against Destrehan. He was pulled at halftime for Dalton Melanson against Thibodaux. But he seems to be much better so far. He's made 4 straight PATs, and he's going to be going for a 26-yard field goal, but not until Terrebonne's going to try to ice him with 15 seconds left to go. They called their final timeout. Interesting turn of events here. Coach Salt's going for it. The offense is on the field. Ricky Preston, Waylon LeBlanc, Brandon Singleton all lined up as wide receivers. We got Drew Dunn on the side here as a tight end. And Austin Perrin's back in the shotgun. He's going for the pass. As Perrin going to take it himself, he's got pressure. He's going to dodge the pressure. And he's wide open to Ricky Preston. That was a senior play for the sophomore quarterback. And just like that, Hahnville is going to be taking a touchdown lead. Ricky Preston, he dropped it on third down. He doesn't drop that one. What a play from Perrin. He's really come along in his last couple games. He's shown excellent maturity from his first start against Thibodaux. And right there, he dodges and weaves through the Thibodaux defense, the Terrebonne defense. And he finds Ricky Preston. Jordan Quigg and Trevon Gano for Terrebonne just missed their coverage. Ricky Preston couldn't have been any more wide open. And Matt Boyer is back on now. He's not attempting a field goal. He's attempting the PAT now. He'll try to hit his 5th straight of the game. Bradley Oakland on the snap. Laying the ball on the hold. Snap is good. Hold is good. Point after is good. With 6 seconds left, the Hahnville Tigers have retaken the lead. They're up 35-28 on the Terrebonne Tigers.
Hahnville 35, Terrebonne 28.
Aaron Bourgeois lining up to take this kickoff. Terrebonne is spread out all across the field, and it's going to be a dribbler, it's going to be a bouncer, it's going to be caught there by Trevin Gano. And Terrebonne has about 3 seconds to do something here.
No return on the kick. Terrebonne to play 1st and 10.
Hahnville lining up in prevent defense here. Terrebonne's at about the Terrebonne 31. And they've got one play basically with 3 seconds left to take it 70 yards for the touchdown. Of course, I wouldn't doubt it so far with the way this game has gone. They're just gonna kneel it. They're not gonna take that risk. And the score headed into halftime. Hahnville Tigers 35, Terrebonne Tigers 28. We'll see you for the second half.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's halftime activities. We begin tonight by featuring the Hahnville High School High Steppers dance team. The High Steppers are under the direction of Ms. Robin Bowers and Ms. Courtney Lotto, Captain Paxton Zerain, co-captains Ali Finity, Morgan Cole. The High Stepper of the Week is Julia Tapte. Tonight, the High Steppers are performing to Every Time We Touch. Next, the Hahnville High School Tiger Marching Band presents their 2014 competition show. The 2014 show is a salute to all things space in celebration of the 45th anniversary of the moon landing. The three movements of our show capture the excitement, the mystery, and the beauty of space. Drum major Katie West, is your band ready to perform? Hahnville High School Tiger Band, you may take the field for your performance. City Tigers fighting Marching Band. Congratulations to the section of the week, the percussion section. Special congratulations to Shirley Monell Parody. Miss Shirley was a $500 winner in the Band Booster Club Homecoming Day Raffle. Congratulations. The Hahnville High School Band was under the direction of Mr. Eric Gano and Mr. Michael Danico. from your Fighting Tigers.
Second half is about to start. Hahnville will be receiving the ball. It is 35-28. It's been a shootout so far. It started with a Terrebonne kickoff return for a touchdown to start the game. It was a ridiculous start, but Hahnville answered very quickly on the ground. Terrebonne then turned the ball over, but ended up getting Hahnville in pretty bad field position for Hahnville, and Hahnville would fumble the ball. That would result in another touchdown for Terrebonne. They would take a 14-7 lead, but Hahnville would then score 3 unanswered touchdowns. Then in the final 2 minutes, things got crazy. Terrebonne drove all the way, got a touchdown to make it a 1-score game, and then executed a perfect onside kick. And then they would score on that. They would make it 28-28, and then in the waning seconds for Hahnville, Austin Perrin scrambled. He edged and weaved through a horde of defenders, and he found a wide-open Ricky Preston in the end zone to get us where we are now, 35-28. And Josh, did you expect a shootout in this game at all?
Well, I expected a high-scoring game, but I thought it was just going to be high-scoring for Hahnville. I thought Hahnville would run up the score on Terrebonne, but Terrebonne's offense has surprised me.
Absolutely. Hahnville's defense has been probably one of the more lauded parts of this team, and they've given up 28 to Terrebonne. But Terrebonne's really earned it, those points too.
Oh, Justin Terry was having a fabulous game. Not just rushing, but passing too.
Right, he's been
Devontae Clark. He's been Hahnville's player of the game so far, of course, accounting for 2 touchdowns. And he's having a great game tonight. He even set up another one. Here's the kickoff. It's a nice little chip. And Oakland calls for the fair catch, and they'll get the ball at about the 35.
Oakland, fair catch, the kick. Hahnville play, 1st and 10.
Around the district, East St. John is defeating HL Bourgeois 13-0 in Gray, Louisiana. In Thibodaux, Louisiana, Destrehan is currently up 7-0 on Thibodaux in the Battle of the Unbeatens. And in the rivalry game in Galliano, Louisiana, South Lafourche up 15-7 on Central Lafourche.
And Hahnville up 35-28 on Terrebonne as Austin Perrin is under the center. And Hahnville will have to take a timeout on the first play from scrimmage of the second half. Shocking thing there, they had all halftime to get that play written up, and they'll have to take a timeout.
Another big game, potentially the biggest rivalry in the state of Louisiana, Jesuit versus Holy Cross. Currently, the Jesuit Blue Jays are up 21-0 in that game.
Jesuit has a very good team led by quarterback Trey LaForge this year. And Hahnville has a pretty good team led by Austin Perrin, who hands it off to Drew Dunn, who, unlike the first half, he'll not even get a yard on that play, and Bradley Oakland will come in.
He was dragged down by a gang of defenders there, including Nakazi Smith and Deontay Walters.
And Drew Dunn comes out, and so does Ricky Preston, as Sanders Johnson comes in the game for Ricky Preston. Of course, we said in the first half, Sanders is not a receiver, so this is a run and set.
Absolutely.
Devontae Craven, it looks like Norquell Flowers, and it looks like a false start on Hahnville. It looks like Sanders Johnson. It is Sanders Johnson on the false start.
That's going to take them back to their own 29.
And it'll be 2nd and 15. Now Sanders comes out, and so does Norquell Flowers.
Of course, you can see the Terrebonne Tigers very much supporting Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is October. They got pink everywhere. Sleeves, towels, socks, you name it.
Austin Perrin rolls out. Tries to find Singleton. Finds him. Great catch by Brandon Singleton. Great concentration. It looked like he might have bobbled it a little.
That's the difference between Brandon Singleton and a decent wide receiver. He makes those catches.
That'll be a first down for the Tigers at about the 47. And we talked about it during halftime. They need to pass the ball more, it looks like. Their few pass plays have been for big yards. If they could pass the ball well tonight, they could start running away with this game. And Perrin will be under center. Maybe a run as Terrebonne showing blitz. So they'll look back to the sideline for the play.
Flowers in motion.
And it's a screen to Singleton.
Nothing for
But great coverage there.
Nakazi Smith was on Brandon Singleton like white on rice. And just like that, that's going to set up a 3rd and very long for the purple and gold.
And it'll actually be 2nd and long. It'll be 2nd and about 12. As Anthony Williams comes in the game. We saw him get beat earlier for a touchdown. That was on the defensive side of the ball, though. Here we'll see how he could line up as a receiver. 4 receiver set for Hahnville. They don't do this often.
I don't know if I've ever seen this year.
Of course, Perrin in the shotgun. They send a blitz, and it's to Singleton, and he just wasn't looking for the ball.
It looks like we're going to see pass interference. Whether it's on Singleton or Jordan Quigg, though, we shall see in a second.
It didn't look like Singleton was looking at the ball. And it'll be pass interference on the defense. That's on Jordan Quigg. That'll be an automatic first down for the Tigers.
That's a big play for Hahnville there.
Hahnville, of course, dodged by the penalty in the first half. They're living by it right now.
Absolutely. Had they not converted that, who knows?
I'm sure Coach Saul doesn't like artificial yards, but they'll take them there.
All right, you take yards any way you can get, especially when you're in a game like this where you need every single yard you can get.
They were keeping track at home. If they have a complete replay of the first half, Hahnville would win this game 70 to 56.
And Bradley Oquin gets stuffed for no gain. Of course, those last 2 minutes were very, very crazy. 3 touchdowns in 2 minutes. It's not often you see that, including a 40-yard onside kick. Some crazy scrambles.
Hahnville may have hoped they could have done that against Thibodaux.
Right. It's games like last game where they scored 6. The game before there where they scored 16. You're wondering where this offense was. Maybe it's Devontae Clark all along. He seems to have been the X factor so far.
But he's out of this play as it's Norquell Flowers and Devontae Craven. Devontae Craven in motion. Perrin will throw it. Throws it up. And almost caught by Norquell Flowers. It was deflected by number 18, Nakazi Smith, but Norquell almost able to make the catch. Good concentration there. Just the deflection didn't take the greatest deflection in favor of Norquell, and he wasn't able to make the catch. As he comes out, and Devontae Clark comes back in as it's 3rd and 10.
Nakazi Smith's been one of the Terrebonne players I've been most interested in, and he's really impressed me so far. He's been all over the field. He's been making tackles. He's been tackling guys for losses, and right there he prevented a catch to Norquell Flowers.
And he showed the recruits his vertical there.
It's 3rd down now. Perrin rolling out. And he's going to try to find Preston, and Preston bobbles it up to himself. It's a circus catch for Preston.
Of course, it looked like it should have been an easy catch there for Ricky Preston, but great concentration. It's been a concentration drive. They're using their brains.
Absolutely.
This drive, Hahnville's offense is. And now they're in the red zone.
I was impressed by Preston, not only to bobble the ball up to himself, but to keep his concentration and drag Trevin Gano about 10 yards to gain some extra yardage.
Yeah, yards after contact. Most of Hahnville's yards so far this game has been yards after contact. Of course, we look at Drew Dunn and Bradley Oakland, they've had a whole bunch of yards after contact in this game.
Devontae Clark lined up on the slot here. We'll see if he can get his hat trick.
And they'll throw it.
That's
Looks
Flowers.
like it's Norquell Flowers,
and
he'll drag to the end zone. It's a touchdown. And that's Norquell Flowers on the score right there as they took Devontae Craven out for one play. And Norquell, Devontae who? Norquell says he should be the starting running back. Of course, the season Devontae Cravens have, I don't think he'd have a good claim for that.
But next year, though, it could be those two in the backfield.
Also, Devontae Clark could be in the backfield, too. They'll have a position battle next year going on.
Absolutely.
And Boyer, who's 5 of 5 for extra points, and now he's 6 of 6. Great game for Matt Boyer. Hahnville fans wondering where this was the first 3 weeks of the season.
It seems like his kind of week off has really got his confidence back. He looks like a different kicker out there. He's getting air under his kicks. He's got the focus.
And we've seen the same thing with John Knight. The week off he got, he came out and he's made a few big tackles in this game. Of course, the tackle right on the goal line. Terrebonne was able to score after, but he gave him a chance to maybe have a goal line stop, and he's had a few big tackles, and he's even on kickoffs right now, trying to get these fans hyped up. It'll be Aaron Bourgeois on the kick. The last few kicks, they've been kind of chip kicks. We've seen the same thing out of Terrebonne. Terrebonne able to recover one earlier. And Hahnville almost recovered one earlier. It's been the game of, is it an onside kick? Is it not an onside kick? We've seen some of the farthest onside kicks tonight.
Now, of course, Aaron Bourgeois is in the game because Terrebonne's letting themselves get wide open for this.
And a fair catch called there at the 29 by Joseph Alvis. An odd fair catch call. They didn't have a player around him, but you hear footsteps. I know I would have called a fair catch.
It's better to be safe than sorry in this condition. If he had fumbled that or muffed it somehow, that could have been really bad.
And we'll get a look at Hahnville's defense. Josh Commerdale, Jacob Plocky, Traven Honor, and Stephen Cloud on the line. Peyton Robert, Drew Favre, Dwayne Thomas, linebackers, Chris Marshall, Jai Knight. That's number 23, Justin Young. And number 21, Eric Gilmore in the backfield. And it's Terrio under center, and Terrio will take it himself. He has the corner.
Excellent tackling there by Stephen Cloud. For most of these plays, he wasn't unable to get him that time. He was shoved out of bounds by Chris Marshall.
Chris Marshall, Coach Salt has said he's one of the best players on this defense. Him and Dwayne Thomas have been the two best players on defense. And that's not my words, that's Coach Salt's words.
Chris Marshall will be around next year. This is a defense with a lot of seniors, but it's also got a lot of juniors, which means it's going to have a lot of seniors next year as well.
And a 4 wide receiver set for Terrebonne. Terrio under center. Terrio bobbles the snap. Looks like he's going to pass it. And they'll have the first down. Peyton Robert and Eric Gilmore on the tackle, and they keep him in bounds as the clock will continue to run. And no, it's stopped. Looked like they gave the signal to keep running the clock, but the clock stops.
On the catch there was Devon Gano. He's already got a touchdown so far this game. And that was just a good job of pitch and catch.
And we'll see if they keep passing this drive. Terrio under center.
Terrier's going to take it himself, and he's going to run into a gang of Hahnville Tigers.
Looked like Dwayne Thomas in there. Peyton Robert, Jacob Ploquet, Stephen Cloud. They're all involved in that. And it's been team tackles so far for Hahnville tonight. They have been able to have that big turnover that they've had in a few games against Rummel, Landry Walker, and even Thibodeau. A few key turnovers there kept them in the game. They haven't had that tonight, but it's been team tackling.
Well, they've had the one interception, of course. But
they did have the interception, but it wasn't a big turnover like you'd expect. And, ooh.
Beautiful tackle there by Trayvon Honor.
Trayvon Honor, a good open field tackle, and they'll set up third and about 9.
Trayvon Honor's a sophomore. He might be the only underclassman on this defense. And what a job he does there of bottling up.
Great open field tackle there. And we'll see if they pass it here. Terrio in the backfield. Alvin's lined up next to him. 4 wide receivers lined up wide.
So we got all 5 of them.
Might be blitzing on this play. And a little end around, but Jacob Plaque wasn't phased by it, but he wasn't able to make the tackle. And it's a fumble out of bounds. Someone got their head on the ball. Looked like it may have been Eric Gilmore.
Casey Castle's going to take that one maybe 5 yards, but it was not enough. And now Terrebonne's going to have to resort to pinning Hahnville deep.
And Hahnville, they played that end around very good.
Yes, they do. They were all over that one. They didn't execute it amazingly, but still.
Jacob Plaque was able to try to force him to get outside quicker than he probably wanted to. And now we'll see the two-headed monster of Will in the ball and Brandon Singleton back in return. We haven't seen them set up like that much tonight, but they'll be set up on this play. And of course, if the ball goes to Will and LeBlanc, he normally pitches it to Brandon Singleton. There's been it's been fair catches tonight for Hahnville, and another good bounce there.
That's going to be the 3rd punt there by Travis Manor. That's going to end inside the 20-yard line.
And he's having a very good game tonight, Travis Manor. A few extra points, some great punts. An onside kick recovered, an onside kick not recovered. And it's been a great game so far.
Yep.
He's been one of the best players on this team.
Yeah, the senior Manor's probably been the best special teams player, at least a kicker or punter that we've covered in our Press Play Productions Game of the Week so far this year.
Now the offense is back on the field, and they can start running away from this one if they score here.
Got some breaking news from Thibodaux. The Thibodaux Tigers have tied the game at 7. Destrehan might be getting upset here.
And I think if that game's close, Thibodaux will be able to pull it out. And we see it looks like, I believe that's Devontae Craven on the run, and it is. He gets about 3 yards there.
Craven is...
He looks hurt.
Craven has looked hurt multiple times. He's leaving it all on the field.
Of course, he hurt his arm against Destrehan. Coach Salt said he didn't know if he was going to play. He took a few big hits in Destrehan.
He's ran well, though. That is the definition of tough right there.
Of course, a few games ago, he goes out. There goes the whole offense. But Devontae Clark has been so good tonight.
Right.
It's hard to think you'd see any difference in this offense. And now that's a great pass. And, Brandon Singleton drops it. Jordan Quigg was beat on the play. Brandon Singleton's route was run perfectly, and he just drops the ball. A rare drop from Brandon Singleton.
Right. Yeah, the future Yellow Jacket, he rarely makes mistakes. And that mistake's going to be a big one, as it's going to force a 3rd and medium.
That's a passing down. Luckily, though, Singleton got open, and that looks good for this play. He could just hold on to the ball. They've had a few open receivers tonight, and they've burned Terrebonne's defense with open receivers. They have 3 receivers out wide.
Perrin back.
Perrin rolls out. Has a man. It's Brandon Singleton.
And Singleton has just redeemed himself. We saw Ricky Preston do it earlier. He dropped a key catch on 3rd down in the red zone, but made up for it by catching it in the end zone on 4th down for the 5th touchdown of Hahnville, and the last one headed into the 2nd half. And Brandon Singleton does it there too.
It was a great play by Perrin to beat the defense, and Singleton, he looked it all the way to his hands that time. He wasn't dropping that one on 3rd down.
Gotta wonder why a Maroon Tiger was not within 5 yards of him when the throw was made.
And here's Devontae Clark. If he could catch the corner, and he won't be able to.
Excellent tackle there by Charles Clark.
Clark on Clark there. We talked about Devontae and Devontae, the 2 running backs for Hahnville. Clark and Clark, the defensive lineman and the running back. And Ricky Preston comes back into the game. And we'll see if they pass it here. Devontae Clark will line up at tailback with Norquell Flowers and Drew Dunn. Singleton and Preston are out wide. Looks like Terrebonne's blitzing. And Perrin, great job of escaping one man, and he gets a few yards on it.
That's about as good of a job of getting back to the line of scrimmage as you're going to say.
And now another passing down, 3rd and long again. Terrebonne's doing everything right on the first 2 downs so far this drive, but 3rd down.
Hahnville's been money on 3rd down so far.
And we'll see if they're money again. Perrin rolls out, has good blocking, and it's complete to Brandon Singleton again for a 1st down.
Singleton did step out of bounds, but
Singleton, of course, coming off a 123-yard performance last week against Destrehan. His first 100-yard game of the year. And he's had a few games where he's almost reached 100 yards, but he was able to eclipse it last week, and he might be getting pretty close this week. As Devontae Craven still stays out. We haven't seen him since it looked like he picked up an apparent arm injury. Perrin looks back to the sideline for the play call. And gives it to Oquin.
Oh, excellent tackle there by number 22, Cade Terrio. Again, you know, Terrebonne's been making tackles so far. Despite the 42 spot that Hahnville's put up on them in the 3rd quarter, Terrebonne's defense has played pretty solid fundamentals, and it's now 2nd down.
And Ricky Preston comes back in. 3 wide receivers out. Perrin rolling out. Has good blocking. Throws it downfield to Preston, and it's intercepted.
And that's going to be the 3rd interception on the year for Jalen Williams.
And he gets to about the 45, and there's a flag thrown in the pile. Looks like a player came out without a helmet.
Jalen Williams was another guy who's really looking for a defense. He's been an interception machine for Terrebonne so far.
And he was the one that came out without a helmet. It might be a face mask on Hahnville. And we'll see. It's a personal foul on Hahnville.
Well, they want to get right back in the game. That's how. Terrebonne is going to have the ball in Hahnville territory now.
And that tackle on 15 yards to the end of that interception. You throw an interception, and then you get the personal foul called on you.
It seems like when Hahnville's had a lead like this, they haven't really, besides Salmon, been able to close it out, or at least like force the team out of the game. We saw it against Rommel, we saw it against Landry Walker, and we're seeing it here. Terrebonne is hanging around.
Of course, there's only a 2-possession game, and Terry will roll out, and now he's looking to pass it. Doesn't have a man open.
And they're looking for offensive pass interference on Anthony Walls, the Hahnville fans were. Anthony Walls has had a very quiet day. He's the leading receiver for the Terrebonne Tigers, but he's been
good coverage there by John Knight.
John Knight's been one of the shining spots on this defense. He's had a pretty rough year so far, to say the least, but he's putting through a great effort today.
Of course, you kind of question the Terrebonne play call in there, trying to go deep. He was covered. Maybe he should have just tucked it and ran. You don't want to throw a pick right after getting a pick.
And I mean, Terrio has proven he can scramble so far this game. So.
And Terrio's in the backfield, 4 wide receiver set.
In motion is Alvin. Terrio's going to take it himself, and Terrio is going to pick up the 1st down and more. He's going to be taken down there by Peyton Robert and Justin Young.
Dwayne Thomas was also there on the tackle, and he'll be at the 21. It's a big drive for Terrebonne. So, you know, Josh Commerdale slipped. Josh Commerdale might have made the play, but he slipped. We saw a Terrebonne player slip earlier trying to make a tackle.
Terrebonne breathing here on the red zone.
Let's see what they can do out of this. This is a pitch. That's Alvis. And he might go into the end zone, and he does. Touchdown, Terrebonne. Great running there by Alvis.
42-35. Ending the extra point, of course.
But either way, it's a 1-possession game, and Terrebonne's recovered an onside kick so far. 3rd quarter, You don't think they do another onside kick, but it's a possibility.
I mean, with the way Hahnville's lined up, they're kind of giving them holes to do it anyway. Of course, you saw on the other onside kick, it kind of even wasn't an onside kick. It was kind of a chip kick that bounced the wrong way for Hahnville. We'll see if it happens again.
And it's good from Manor.
Manor's pretty much automatic at this point. He hasn't missed a field goal or a point after yet this year.
And with 3:10 left in the third quarter, it is 35-42 Hahnville. Preston is lined up deep for Hahnville. Travis Manor will kick it off. See if he does another little pooch kick. Of course, on that side of the field, you have number 44 for Hahnville, Dylan Ockman, Drew Favre, and also number 26, Devon Gilbert. And then Bradley Oakland's behind him. Bradley Oakland's walking up a little. We'll see what Terrebonne does. And it's an onside kick that goes 10 yards, but it went out of bounds, and it'll be Hahnville ball.
You gotta feel bad there for Quigg. He probably should have had that one. He's gonna be mad at himself for missing that one.
Yeah, it was a great kick. Hahnville didn't look like they were ready for it.
Some news in New Orleans, Louisiana. Jesuit has opened up a 35-0 lead against their rivals, the Holy Cross.
And that game for a while has been all a Jesuit, past 20 years.
Yeah, the Tigers have kind of gotten dominated, and they're getting dominated once again this year.
And not a single Tigers dominating in this game. It's Perrin under center. And he gives it to Oakwen. Oakwen turning his feet a little. He'll get about 3.
3 yards in a cloud of dust for the senior bowling ball.
Of course, Drew Dunn had a strike earlier. The other bowling ball for this Hahnville team.
Yeah. They haven't, other than the one Drew Dunn carry, they haven't had anything big, but they've just really pounded this defense. It's a big part of why they have 42 points.
Singleton, the only receiver lined up. And they give it to Bradley Oakland again, and
that's another 3
same
yards.
Thing again. That's about 2 yards there. And they'll set up 3rd and medium. We'll have to see the play call on 3rd and medium. They don't like passing the ball, but they've had great success passing the ball. They might have to turn into a passing team soon.
Yeah. On the tackle there was Cade Terrio, the senior linebacker for the Maroon Tigers.
And Norquell Flowers, they have 3 receivers set up. And Devontae Clark, Ricky Preston, and Brandon Singleton. Norquell Flowers and Drew Dunn are the running backs as Perrin rolls out. No surprise there, trying to find a man. Finds Singleton. Singleton cuts back in as there's a flag. It looks like it'll be a flag for roughing the passer. It looks like number 10, Cam Claymore, roughed Austin Perrin there, but it'll probably be declined as the big gain there from Brandon Singleton. And he has to be nearing 100 yards in this game.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it wasn't already there. He's caught, except for the one miscue, he's caught everything towards him.
Look at it, Brandon Singleton, and it is a roughing the passer on Terrebonne. As we'll see if you see it there. And
yep, absolutely rough the passer. You can't do that.
Of course, a heads-up play, Jeff DeRoche to be able to chase him down. Brandon Singleton could have brought that into the end zone. A great burst of speed there from Jeff DeRoche, and he was able to make the tackle. But after the penalty, Hahnville will have the ball at the 12. I think they should take a shot at the end zone this first play. Maybe a fade to Singleton. Maybe Devontae Clark rolling out on a little halfback screen.
Yeah, we'll see.
So many options on this offense for Hahnville, and all the options can burn you.
Yep. Which is good news for this triple option offense.
And that option didn't burn him that time. Bradley Oakland gets stopped for about a gain of an inch.
Yep. Trying to get a dime on a dozen there. And they're going to need something more than that.
As Ricky Preston comes onto the field.
No gain on the last play. 2nd and 10, Hahnville.
As Perrin lines up under center. Preston and Singleton out wide. Terrebonne, of course, showing blitz again. They blitzed a lot this game. And they do blitz. It'll be Oakwen who gets about 3.
Oakland has pretty much gotten a 2 or 3 pretty consistently this drive. He has not been as explosive as he has been throughout the game. Third and 6 here. They'll be at the 8-yard line. Will they go for the end zone, or will they just go for the first down?
And Devontae Clark and Norquell Flowers come out of the game. So it'll look like they'll have both power backs in the game on this play. Singleton and Preston are towards the away side. Will and LeBlanc's on this side at wide receiver. Maybe they might just follow the 2 power backs. Austin Perrin will just follow them, and no, it'll be a timeout called for Hahnville. Their second timeout so far. With 5 seconds left in the third quarter, Hahnville has a 7-point lead, 42-35.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention. The Hahnville Tigers want to thank the Monsanto Emergency Response Team for providing the pregame meal tonight. Their support of the Hahnville High School football program is very
Some news from Thibodaux. The Destrehan Wildcats have taken 14-7 lead over Thibodaux. Of course, both teams are 5-0 and 2-0 in the district.
Thibodaux led by Peyton Bonville will have to come back. And Austin Perrin is in the shotgun with Norquell Flowers.
Thibodaux's big wins have come against Hahnville and Shaw. Destrahans have come against Hahnville and Dutchtown.
Perrin rolls out, tries to throw it to Preston, who does not make the catch.
That's not an easy catch to make by Preston. Perrin delivered a decent ball. Not great enough, and Preston was unable to do it. He hasn't played wide receiver all year, so.
Perrin led him a little too far there. And it's fourth quarter. Going into the fourth quarter, Hahnville holding on to a 7-point lead, 42-35. It looks like Matt Boyer will be on to attempt this field goal. He's been perfect with extra points so far. We'll see how his field goal game goes. And this is almost about an extra point. About 5 yards away from being an extra point. It's going to be a 25-yard field goal here from Matt Boyer. And snap was good, hold was good, kick was right down the middle. It's good for Matt Boyer.
The freshman.
That'll be 45-35 Hahnville.
Your score with 11:57 remaining in the ballgame. Hahnville 45, Terrebonne 35.
We'll have to see how Aaron Bourgeois takes this kick here. He's really been pooching it today. They've almost recovered one earlier.
Yep.
Chris Marshall almost got to his second of the year earlier. Here comes Aaron Bourgeois. Takes this a little farther than his normal kicks and a little farther out of bounds too. Terrebonne will get the ball from the 35. With 11:57 left in the fourth quarter, Hahnville 45, Terrebonne 35.
Hahnville will be penalized 5 yards. Re-kick.
And Aaron Bourgeois will re-kick it. And breaking news, Thibodaux has tied it up against Destrehan 14-14. We're guessing it's about around the end of the third quarter there. And Thibodaux moved into the top 10 in the state this week.
It's a shame that one of those two teams has to suffer their first loss of the year. But Thibodaux, you got to be impressed with the way they've played. Picked by many as third or even fourth. A lot of people picked him fourth behind even East St. John in the district.
And Bourgeois kicks it out of bounds again. We'll see if they make him re-kick it again. And Hahnville will re-kick. How long until they have to kick from the end zone?
Yeah.
It's the way it's going. And Kobe Ogeron will come in for Aaron Bourgeois to kick. And a little change up of kicker there.
Yeah, they're going to need a little bit more power. It's going to be hard to chip it here.
Of course, Kobe Ogeron, the senior soccer player. He came in for the Thibodaux game. Was his first game, I believe. And Ogeron, the right-footed kicker. A little different from Aaron Bourgeois. And kicks it, and it's a booming kick. That gets to about the 10.
Never heard so much applause about a kickoff.
And Anthony Williams brings him down, the freshman Anthony Williams.
That's amazing. What a tackle.
His nickname is Puka. And you might hear that name a lot. It was a great tackle from the freshman there. Yep. He's been on defense. He's been on offense.
And, of course, he's listed as a quarterback. He could be the quarterback of the future, potentially.
R.K. Smith's playbook last year, of course, in middle school, had 2 plays in it, Puka right and Puka left, and it burned most defenses. That's middle school defenses. This is a completely different game here.
Right. It looks just fine against Hahnville, or against high school special teams. So.
Yeah, good play there by Anthony Williams. We might hear a lot of his name. Of course, he could be a top recruit. He has the talent. And now Terrio in the backfield. Alvin runs over and it's handed to Alvin.
Alvin's got the edge sealed, and he's gonna. Looks like he's gonna pick up the first down.
And they'll mark him just short. Short marking there. The tackle made by Dwayne Thomas. Dwayne Thomas saved them from getting a first down. And it'll be 2nd and 1.
Dwayne Thomas, of course, the future Louisiana Raging Cajun.
I'm sure Lafayette's pretty happy about that acquisition.
Absolutely. He's been all over the field this game.
Of course, ULL as well as ULM, teams on uprises. Tulane might be coming back. been pretty good for Louisiana.
Yeah, ULL's been to 3 straight bowl games, and ULM has beaten a top 10 team.
And Casey Castle was running around, but it's Terrio will keep it. And he'll get a first down. He'll get about to the 42. Check that, 37.
You gotta figure some Tigers fans are looking at that and kind of being a little bit envious because Mike Neal was able to do a lot of that at quarterback. Of course, his recovery is coming along much better than expected. He could be back in the next couple weeks.
And that would be a big pickup for Hahnville if they want to win out and go into the postseason 7-3. Of course, 6 wins needed to make the postseason. And Alvin will keep it, and he'll get brought down at the line of scrimmage. A gain of nothing for Alvin there, for Alvis. Peyton Robert able to bring him down, the linebacker. He'll be here next year.
Yep. There's a lot of really good juniors and sophomores on this team, as senior heavy as they seem to be.
It's Terrio. Pitches it out to Alvis. Alvis gets to the corner. He'll be brought down after about a gain of 5.
Yep.
Tackle there by Drew Favre. Terrio stays in the game. We haven't seen anything of Dylan Bergeron so far.
We've seen him come on for a couple plays. He's made some good passes. I believe he has a touchdown pass, but Terrio's received the majority of the snaps, and for good reason. His scrambling ability is something Bergeron doesn't
takes
possess.
the snap and he takes off.
Like I said, his
good blocking there, and they throw a flag as Eric Gilmore made the tackle. Eric Gilmore looks a little shaken up on that play. We'll have to see what the flag was. It's thrown in a peculiar spot. It's thrown right around the tackle. And it's a block in the back on Terrebonne as they'll come back.
You know, Hahnville really struggled earlier with penalties. They've been mostly non-existent. They've mostly been on the side of the maroon and gold Tigers instead of the purple and gold Tigers. And that might be a big reason why Hahnville's got this 10-point lead.
And the last time we saw Tigers play each other was Auburn and LSU, and this game's a lot different than that game. Of course, one score line looks similar to the game, but the other one definitely doesn't look close at all.
Absolutely.
And now it'll be 3rd and 2 as they gained a yard on the penalty. As Terrio wound up back. Alvis is with him, and now Alvis rolls out. And Alvis comes back, and now he rolls out again.
Some interesting trickery there. In
Anthony
motion was
Walls
balls.
ran, and Terrio will take it, and it looks like he'll get the first down, and he will, to the 50.
Taken down there by Stephen Cloud and Dwayne Thomas. Stephen Cloud's had a relatively quiet game so far for the Tigers defense.
And first down for Terrebonne. Hahnville's defense doesn't look as fatigued as they normally look around this time.
It's because their offense has had a lot of time on the field.
Terrio and Alvis are back. Terrio will take the snap. He rolls out looking to pass. And he'll be
finally taken down
by number 52, Trayvon Honor. Trayvon Honor in for the injured Fred Brown.
Credit the assist there to Darren Penitent. That's quite a few guys trying to get him, and he was unable to make a play. He just took the sack.
So in the replay, Stephen Cloud was able to get there first, and Trayvon Honor able to tidy up that tackle and keep Terrio from getting a good bit of yards. Of course, we've seen that kind of play when they played Thibodaux against Bonvillain. Bonvillain able to roll out.
It's a fumble.
And it's a fumble as it's picked up by Peyton Robert. And did Peyton Robert give it back to him? And Terrio has the ball.
What a play by Terrio.
Great play by Terrio, but then
that might have.
In the broad spectrum, you look at it, it's about 3rd and 25.
Right, but as far as field position goes, that might have saved the game. That would have been major momentum towards Hahnville.
Good hustle by Terrio, and it was bittersweet for Peyton Robert. You like to have the ball on the ground and be in there, but can't pick it up.
Yeah,
it's a little bittersweet, and that could have been the first fumble of this game from Terrebonne. Right. It was the first time the ball's been on the ground from Terrebonne tonight.
Right. God, I wonder
maybe 3rd and about the distance from the stadium to Highway 90 right here. Terrio drops back, throws it downfield. This could be another pick. And, well, if you will, it was great coverage by Isaiah Manuel to keep Justin Young from intercepting that ball.
Yeah. Wide receiver playing the cornerback, that's about the best thing you can do if you're a secondary.
And we normally talk about cornerbacks dropping balls. That's why they're on defense and not offense.
Right.
That was maybe a look.
That one was
maybe we might see Manuel playing a bit of corner soon.
That one was right in his breadbasket, though. He probably should have caught that, but it's pretty. Maybe he will be an Iron Man. Who knows?
Now, you know, if you will, Justin Young. That's why he's on defense. As there's the punt.
Very nearly blocked there by Dylan Crockett, the quarterback.
Singleton takes a fair catch at the 41 with 6:31 left in the game. Hahnville looking to close this one out. Hahnville 45, Terrebonne 35.
We have an official timeout on the field. Ladies and gentlemen, Representative Cedric Richmond of the 2nd Congressional District is proud to sponsor this quarter. Congressman Cedric Richmond wishes all Hahnville students, teachers, and parents a great homecoming. Ladies and gentlemen, every day, Capital One Bank works to help strengthen the communities where we live and work so people can achieve their dreams and succeed. Capital One Bank is proud to support the Hahnville Tigers.
And Austin Perrin runs onto the field. Looks like Ricky Preston and Brandon Singleton will be the 2 receivers.
Update from Gray, Louisiana. East St. John doubling up on the HL Bourgeois Braves. Wildcats are up 42-21. And East St. John started the year with a blowout against Rummel, a blowout loss to Rummel, a close win against Scotlandville, and then a blowout loss to John Curtis. But they've turned their season around in district play. Of course, we'll see them next week. They'll be at home hosting this Hahnville Tigers team.
And a good sign for Hahnville Tigers. Devontae Craven's back in the game. As Devontae Clark took that one for about a yard. Looked like it was about 5 yards to get that one. And Perrin under center. Looks for the play call to the sideline. Still Brandon Singleton and Ricky Preston are the 2 receivers lined up.
Craven in motion. It's going to be handed off to Bradley
Oakwen. Oakwen close to the first down marker, and he'll be about a yard short. He's about to the 49 there.
Looks like all the groundwork that specifically Bradley Oakman and Drew Dona have done have really softened up this defense. They're tired out there.
And you wonder, when are they going to go long? Of course, they tried last drive, and it was a pick, but he threw in a double coverage. If they could have Brandon Singleton out on a little hitch. This tired defense as Perrin under center. And Perrin runs it himself. And he'll get the first down. He got about 5 yards more than the first down. Great blocking from Hahnville's offensive line.
It's rare we see Perrin take it up the middle like we've seen Mike Neal do in the past and we've seen Justin Terrio do today. But he did it there.
Perrin scored 2 touchdowns like that against Landry Walker in overtime. But that was on the 1 yard line. That was about a 5 yard rush. For Austin Perrin, a good little run. Some great blocking. The blocking has really turned around from last week's games against Destrehan.
They're shoving guys at this point.
And Terrebonne still showing blitz.
And it's Drew Dunn. Drew Dunn is...
And Drew Dunn, he has a touchdown so far this game, and he gets to about the 15 there.
He's taken down by Jordan Quigg and Trayvon Gano.
Another great run by Drew Dunn. And that's what they've been missing against Thibodaux and against Destrehan. The power back, and it looks like they're back this game.
It was good blocking up the middle and good job by Drew Dunn not to do anything more than he had to do, as Hahnville's now in the red zone.
And if defensive backs are having to tackle Bradley Oakwood and Drew Dunn, that's not a good night for Terrebonne's defense. As Craven in motion, and it's given to Drew Dunn. Drew Dunn gets a first down. He's at like the 4.
Taken down by Jeff DeBroche. All right.
Another good run by Drew Dunn.
Hahnville's foot is on Terrebonne's neck at this point. How's Terrebonne going to respond? They're on the goal line. Game is slipping away. And in Thibodaux, the game has gone final. Destrehan 21, Thibodaux 14.
Destrehan able to eke out a win against Thibodaux. Destrehan improves to 6-0. Thibodaux 5-1. I'm sure we have some people in the trailer going wild over that score. And Perrin keeps it himself, and it looks like a false start there on Hahnville's offensive line.
It may not be final, but it's definitely 21-14.
And a false start there. Hahnville will move back. The yards gained by Drew Dunn come back a little.
A little bit.
Of course, it doesn't negate it on the stat sheet, but it negates it in the game. And Brandon Singleton, Devontae Clark, and Ricky Preston come out for Sanders Johnson, Warren Bourne, and Bradley Oakwind. Both the power backs are in the game. It's a very interesting set. And it's given to Devontae Craven. Devontae Craven bursts up the middle, and it's a touchdown, Devontae Craven.
His second of the day.
He said Devontae Clark, who? They both have 2 touchdowns this game.
Yep.
And Hahnville has eclipsed half a century. It's 51-35, and pinning the extra point, it could be 52. Of course, in the last 4 years, this is the second most Hahnville has scored, the most against the Struma 4 years ago. 56-0, Hahnville was able to beat a Struma. But that was a different Hahnville team, and a Struma team that's definitely not up to Terrebonne's levels. And Boyer on the extra point, and Boyer is good. Boyer is having a big game tonight, and with 3:20 left, Hahnville 52, Terrebonne 35. And Kobe Ogeron will be the kicker. They're giving Aaron Bourgeois a rest.
Hahnville's up 17 at this point. They're up 3 scores. Looking very unlikely at this point that Terrebonne's going to come back.
But Ogeron, a big kick from Ogeron. That goes into the end zone. And it'll be a touchback from Kobe Ogeron. Great kick there. Some flashbacks to Craig Ford.
Yeah.
Of course, both Craig Ford and Kobe Ogeron decorated soccer players. Kobe, a senior. And the ball will be at the 20. Terrebonne's offense will have to go 80 yards if they want to get back into this game. They'll have to go a few 80-yard drives, it looks like.
And they only have 3 minutes and 20 to do it. Do have all 3 of their timeouts. There's quite a bit of a solemn silver lining there. Not sure if they're going to be able to do it.
Hahnville against Thibodaux were able to score 9 points in the last minute and 30. But that was 9. This is a lot. I can't even do the math, it's so much. And Terrio lined up in the backfield. He's low one back there, and they'll have to start passing. And Terrio takes it himself, and he'll be tackled by Dwayne Thomas and Stephen Cloud, and also Joshua Commerdale in on the tackle. And that's not what Terrebonne needs if they want to get back into this game. And they might need to start hurrying up to the line. It looks like Anthony Walls walking pretty slowly to the line there.
I'll be honest, at this point, if I'm Thibodeau, I'd probably put in Dylan Bergeron. He showed tonight that he's probably a better pure passer, and that's really what they need at this point. Scrambling for 11 yards is nice in the second quarter in a tie game. Right now, it's not necessarily what you need.
Here comes Terrio as he pitches it to Alvis, but Alvis had nowhere to go and will be tackled by Joshua Commerdale. And it looks like he'll lose about a yard. And it'll be 3rd and long as the clock continues to tick.
Terrebonne, this game might have escaped Terrebonne. But
of course, Terrebonne showed a lot of fight to keep it close.
Yeah, credit where credit's due. They've put up a lot of points on offense. 5 touchdowns. That's not easy.
And that's against a Hahnville defense that held Destrehan to 24.
Yeah.
Terrio does a flip to Alvis, and there's a face mask on Stephen Cloud as Alvis doesn't get the first down, but looks like they'll get Stephen Cloud for a face mask.
They might give him the first down. Probably will.
If you're Hahnville, one positive you take away from that, the time that ran off the clock even though they got a free play on that one.
Yep.
And it is a face mask on Stephen Cloud. Perhaps a mental error there, but I don't think it's going to hurt him now.
Of course, you still don't want to see your player make those kind of mistakes. It's better he makes those mistakes in a 52-35 in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left than say 21-21 in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left.
And now Terrebonne is at the 45-yard line. And Terrio, they'll probably need to pass if they want to score quick. And I don't see that happening. Hahnville's been playing excellent coverage as Terrio rolls out and he's running. And he has the corner. And another flag. As it was Justin Young on the tackle. But there's a flag on the field. And my apologies, that was number 33, Kalen White on the tackle. First time we've seen him in the game.
The senior.
And it was a penalty on Terrebonne for holding. Now back, Terrebonne up. Most of those yards they got from the face mask, they've moved back. And it'll be 1st and 20. Terrio with Alvis in the backfield with him. And they'll throw a screen. And Drew Favre pushing him back, and they blow the play dead.
Devon Gano just got stuffed.
Drew Favre playing linebacker. Looked like he was assigned to Gano right there. He was able to make a good play. Keep Gano from maybe breaking one. Now here's Terrio. Terrio will pass. Throws it downfield, and it's picked off by Peyton Robert. Peyton Robert is returning it. He might have 6. See if Josh Commerdale can get the block. He does, and that's a touchdown. Peyton Robert, interception return for a touchdown.
And that's going to put...
Hahnville has reached 58 points tonight.
That's going to put the exclamation point on this one.
That's the most points since I've been at Hahnville that they have scored. Of course, we said the most before that was a 56-0 win to Estruma. They had a 49-7 win against John Herritt the year after they beat Estruma 56-0, but 58 points, the most in my 4-year career at Hahnville I've seen, and it's just been an offensive clobbering tonight.
That was the first score on defense or special teams too. They've done all of it on the offense.
Of course, the only time we've seen a special teams touchdown was Brandon Singleton's punt return, as the kick's good for Matt Boyer. He's had a lot of kicks tonight. Maybe we see a new Matt Boyer. And 59-35, Hahnville with 51 seconds left.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Tiger fans, at the October 31st home game versus Central Lafourche, we will hold Salute to Service Members Night. All veterans and current members of any armed service branch will be admitted to the game using their military ID. We hope you all can join us to recognize our service members on Halloween night.
And Kobe Ogeron coming after that big touchback that put Thibodaux at the 20, Terrebonne at the 20. Speaking of Thibodaux, it is final. They did lose to Destrehan 21-14. Big win for the Wildcats, and it looks like they might win out.
Yeah, their toughest game at this point is probably against East St. John. That's a big hurdle to get past.
It looks like the only team that could be able to match Destrehan is Ponchatoula. I see Kobe Ogeron. That one won't be a touchback, but it'll be fielded at the 1. Of course, Terrebonne had the opening kickoff return for a touchdown, and as Peyton Robert on a tackle, he won't get back to the 20 on that play. Peyton Robert shows that he's not out of breath. As we see some second team defense coming in, Corey Schmill's in. Also number 98, Elijah Brent. Also in, Devin Williams, number 97. Stephen Cloud stays in, Dwayne Thomas stays in, Drew Favre stays in. Number 38, Brandon Hockman also comes in as Dwayne Thomas and Drew Favre come out. Also in, number 37, Lincoy Raynaud. And they're playing Chris Marshall at about the 35. Trying not to give up any big plays. And Kalen White runs onto the field late, as he'll get onto the field though. And looks like Terrebonne's just trying to run the clock out. Terrebonne knows this game may have slipped away from them. And the clock keeps ticking. 24 seconds left in this one. The clock might run down from here. And we'll have to see. And the clock will run out as it's final. Hahnville completing a blowout. It didn't look like a blowout for long.
But it ends up as the most points scored for Hahnville in the 21st century. 59.
Will take that record.
59 Hahnville Tigers, 35 Terrebonne Tigers. Coming at you next week, we might be in Central Lafourche for the Destrehan Wildcats versus Central Lafourche Trojans. We'll keep you updated on that through the week at presstoplaytv.com or presstoplay.tv.
And next week, Hahnville will travel to East St. John in a very hostile East St. John environment.
East St. John on a 3-game winning streak, 3-0 in division, so that could be a very big game.
And when will we see Mike Neal back? Another big story for Hahnville. Austin Perrin, he's fared very well, I'd have to say. I mean, 59 points tonight. I guess he did pretty good.
Yeah, he's been the commander of this offense, and he's really taken some serious strides in the 3 games as starter.
And we'll have to see the next few games if this win for Hahnville gives them enough momentum to win out and go into the playoffs at 7-3.
That would surely earn them at least a mid-level seeding. So,
yeah, they might even have a home game first game. We'll have to see how the rest of the 5A shapes out. But that's your final score: Hahnville 59, Terrebonne 35. I'm Joshua Perkins.
I'm John Benton.
For Press Play Productions, we're signing off from Tiger Stadium.